There we are. Hey, you. How's everybody doing? Oh God. Yeah, I'm trying to get here and trying to get things done right, and not doing anything quite right, but that's all right. Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my. Balagasti karasana. Yakesi bugustava logopatatiantu. Yapete karasa. Let me get some invitation links out, and then we will do some stuff. Hey, Greg, how you doing, honey? Oh God, oh God. Okay, um, yeah, let me get these things out here. Okay, we're going to go to the invité. This is not doing. It's not doing it right. I don't know why it's not doing it right, but it's not. Where is the? Where's the copy? Oh, Boże mój. And now I'm going to go over to go over here. Oh God. Oh God, I'm in pain. This is not fun. It is not at all fun. Okay, wait a minute. Let's egg this league. Oh God. Ow. Shoot me. Please shoot me. It's just the way it works. Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my. Okay. Um, where am I? What am I doing? I haven't the slightest idea what I'm doing. I'm not doing any of this right. I know I'm not. Oh God. Shara bal kasanta yegere putti mike perwanta balakatopatianda. Yaste kure kera karabarakan. Men legenda. Where am I? All right. Inviting the gifts. Is. Stara, stara balagete. Malagada potatianta yegara sede de tron. Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my. Okay, so where am I now? What am I doing here? I hadn't the slightest idea. Oh God. Oh, oh. I'm gonna be right back. Okay, I'm gonna be right back. I have to. I'm gonna get a whole bunch of. I'm gonna get a whole bunch of candy pills. Oh, oh, oh God, oh God, oh, 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 oh. Aku basta ya kere mando gere ke bata aya kadaya. I gotta find I gotta find my head. That's what I gotta do. Boof. Oh, hey, hi, honey. Let me get all this. Okay, let's see what we can do. Ow, 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 ow. Okay, where I'm so sorry. I am. I'm oh I I'm ow, 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 ow. I'm gonna be back. Wait a minute. Where am I? Ow. Let me lie down for a minute. God, no, no, no. Nah, help. Please help me. Oh God, please help. Lavender. Vago. Lavender. Oh God. Oh, oh, oh. Vago. Lavender. 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 Vago. No, no. No, it hurts. Oh God, help me, please. I'm sorry, kids. I am. Oh, oh. Okay, let me try to. Help, please. Okay, I'm gonna try to. I'm gonna try to put. Oh. Okay, please, please forgive me, please. I know I'm not doing this right. Asda. Okay. Let me get where I need to be here. No. Oh. Oh God. This is not doing well. Let me find Mega Mega Mastotayake. Okay, where am I now? Where am I? Okay. What is that? Okay, I see what that is. Aga, Nasta, 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 Nasta. No, I'm not okay. I'm not okay, doctor. Oh God, I'm not. Pain. But I need, oh God, ow, 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 ow. Chada. Oh, it feels made like 70,000 volts directly into my neck. Oh, nado but gente. Ow! I'm not doing well. I'm. Ow! Gazda. Okay, hang on. Hang on. Okay, here's here. No, wait a minute. Where am I here? Okay, there's one person contacted. Oh, Gaga. Gente by Castrodo, moto para que te mandarai, ma perado con tutto io che resta di pesterie. Mr. Berge, mu, 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 mu. Oh, Hi.
Hello.
Oh, how is you is?
Obviously better than you're doing.
Obviously, I. Oh God. What you up to?
Should we just
Yes.
maybe?
Noise problems and stuff and things.
Hmm.
Oh my God. Oh. Oh God. Stuff. Oh look. There's. Oh God. It's. It's a bionic dance. Please. I'm gonna try to get me on here. Janda. Oh God. Okay, hang on. We're gonna get some more stuff done here. Zvezda, Jengara, Mata Polokete, Genta Tatrayo, Karata Bahat, Bet Conta Kinte. I heard what you got on the thing. What is that thing? Mage, what is that next to the moon?
What's what? What, my staff?
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll accept that. I gotta put some more stuff out there because there's other stuff that says, ow!
Well, if you want, I could just put the link into your DM group and see who comes in.
Say again?
I could take the link for the stream emails and put it in your DM group and see who comes in.
Yeah, do that, please. Oh my, please. Oh God. It's not doing very well. I'm gonna, about a minute and a half, I'm gonna lie down. Wait a minute.
Well, wait for people to get in here before you lie down, so I'm not just stuck here having to host the whole thing myself.
Yeah, we don't want that. We don't want to. We don't want to make you do everything. Oh, who the heck is this? Wait a minute. Bionic Danesy. What is this Bionic Danesy? I don't know. Hi. Oh God.
Yes, I suppose I am.
There you go. Shoot me. Please shoot me.
I I own a lot of plastic gun-shaped objects, but that's the best I can do. I
Oh,
mean, if it's not a laser or water, I really can't do it. I should get a Nerf dart gun, damn it.
Hmm.
okay.
Like that one that's shaped
Yeah.
like an M41A pulse rifle. That would kick booty.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've seen those modded into replicas.
Oh, I would absolutely spray paint the fuck out of it, but
oh God.
Saurus has modded a bunch of Nerf weapons to look like sci-fi things.
Hmm.
Things from some of the video games he plays.
See, I wish I was better at arts and crafts, at working with my hands, because as it is, I don't know if you saw that case I made, like the plutonium case from Back to the Future. That's the best I can do. If I don't have access to save and undo, I'm just going to make garbage. So I'm impressed with anyone who's good at arts and crafts. I wish I could mod stuff like that. I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, no, I think that case came out pretty good.
Well, yeah, but like I said, that's the best I can do. I mean, if I could have done something a lot more creative, I don't know. Like, I really wish I could have done better with the LEDs in the plutonium thingy. You know, like I don't really know electronics very well, so I should. I mean, I guess I could study up on it, but at that point, it's starting to sound like work. And I wish I knew how to make my own robots. That would be badass, you know?
Yeah. One of my cousins took a course in robotics when he was in I think high school.
Hmm. Well, I'm still thinking about going back to school. Local school here offers classes in Unity, the Unity engine. I've been wanting to make my own game for a while, so
I was hearing
yeah.
some stuff going on with Unity lately. I'm not quite sure what's going on.
I thought that was Unreal. I could have sworn there was some Unreal scandal. Maybe
It
I'm
was
wrong. They
it
both
was
start with
Unity.
U. All right.
It was Unity.
Hmm.
No, I'm not sure what the whole thing is about though.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't know. I mean, is it financial? Are there bugs? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm not sure. All I
Hmm.
know is there's something going on.
And
Cirrus
not-
mentioned something about Unity, and I think it's more like they changed their terms of service so that
Oh.
they're trying to basically they're trying to claim stuff that people have made with it.
Well, they
That
used to
crap.
have this rule where it's like unless you make $10,000 or $100,000, they didn't care. But if they're changing that, I could have sworn it was the Unreal Engine. Oh well, whatever. I got to learn something if I'm going to make a game. And since I haven't done coding since high school, you know, the 90s, I'm going to need to take courses on it, and so I need to find an engine that'll work for me.
Yeah.
But also, I've been getting a lot better with the Arnold renderer, what a stupid name for it, in 3ds Max 2023. And so I'm starting to feel confident enough to maybe start making animated content again. It was one hell of a learning curve. The lighting system works completely differently, and like the old textures have been deprecated, so you have to reskin everything you've already made. It's just a pain in the ass. But I'm getting there, and I think I might be able to actually produce some content soon.
Yeah, I'm probably going to be looking at having to do something like that with some art programs here.
I have actually started already on the Quinn Redshift graphic novel. I have about 6 pages so far, but I ran into a bunch of models that needed to be reskinned again. So I was like, okay, page 7 will be later. You know?
Yeah, I've been using my print shop Pro on my Windows 7 machine, so yeah, that's gonna crap out on me at some point.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, hold on, let me real quick. There we go. Like this kind of thing.
Neat.
So yeah, I got a few other pages that you know, like oh yeah, that's a just sort of like an author's note page, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm having fun with it, and I don't know whether or not I can make money off of it, but it's a story I've wanted to tell for a very long time, and I'm going to attempt it. I don't know. I had this idea because what I really want to do is tell a big, huge, like epic Babylon 5-esque story, right? And I'm going to do it episodically because, like, Quinn visits every moon, which in classic Pope style is populated in the solar system. and have a different adventure on each one, but those adventures are eventually going to tie in to a much larger plot line, right? So what I was thinking was making the entire story for each moon before I release it. And then what I'll do is I'll release it both as a book and as a webcomic. And it'll be like, okay, you can either get it a page at a time for free on the webcomic site, or you can buy the book and read it all at once.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if anyone will even give a damn. I mean, as it is right now, Quinn Redshift has about 2,700 views on YouTube, which is nothing. You know, I really thought it would make a bigger splash. So if you get a chance, gang, share the love. It needs some more love. Quinn does, because yeah.
Well, considering that your channel basically died beforehand.
Well, yeah, but even so, I mean, I've been posting it around, and I mean, I get a lot of praise, but not a lot of shares is the problem, you know? But I've been thinking about releasing a director commentary version. And like I said, I think I can make some more like head meets. And I have this other thing I want to do called Short Circuits, where it's like, imagine an animated sketch show, sort of in the style of You Can't Do That on Television, you know? And you know, so I've got some ideas that I'm working on, and you can see I'm making a little progress on some of them. So anyway,
Yeah, I definitely go with more of the head meets. Those were good.
Yeah, and thank you. The only thing is, like, those all started as 3-panel comic strips, and adapting those to at least a minute of footage is hard. I should just write original scripts and forget about the comics I made.
Yeah,
well, what about releasing the head meets as shorts?
Isn't that what I'm doing?
No
or did you mean compile multiple versions of the comic together into one video?
No, I just, you know, YouTube's really pushing the shorts now, so that seems a better way to boost your channel.
Well, yeah, here's the problem with that is I don't think they can let me release in landscape mode.
Yeah.
I mean, that is kind of a deal breaker for me. Is like I'm making this animated thing. I want plenty of room to play in, and you know, if it's this, like how many times has someone recorded like a violent event or a disaster, and it's doing this as they're running around? And I'm like, I have no idea what's going on. Okay, turn your phone like this, so I have some peripheral vision, dumbass. But you know, now it's like virtual or vertical video has been normalized online. So
drives me up a wall.
Somebody, I forget who, was suggesting I join. I think it was Twitch and not TikTok, and just show people the process of my animating. You know, I mean, apparently there's a lot of people who do that now, or they're not just gaming, they're doing something creative. And like the feed, the comments are like people giving advice or saying this, that, or the other thing. And yeah, I mean, that might be fun. I don't know.
I do like the idea of just doing a collection of the things and just putting them together into one video. So you have like 3 or 4 of the head meets in one video.
And oh, what was the other thing? Oh yeah, I was thinking about maybe reviving my secondary channel, which was meant for gaming footage. I was thinking about maybe rebranding it as Kate Can't Game or something like that, and just like show me playing the games I completely suck at. You know, I mean, I don't know, that might be fun. And I was thinking about shaking it up a little, where like instead of, you know, here I am because of OBS, you know, in this little window. Maybe I'll take this, turn it around so you can see like the TV or the monitor, and have my head back here so you can see me reacting, you know, in real time. I don't know if that'd be any fun, but it's an idea I haven't seen done yet. So who knows?
Give it a try if you're gonna do it. Yeah.
You stand out in a crowd if you do something new.
Yeah, give it a try. See how it works.
I was considering doing something like that on my channel. Doing a series called Incompetent Gamer. With Soft Girl and her son just heckling me at how bad I am at video games.
Well, I just picked up a copy of Mega Man 11, and oh my God, I'm so bad at this game. Although actually, I looked it up. It's not my fault. I was like going, what the hell is wrong? Why does jump not work sometimes? And everyone was like, yeah, the timing is way off on the jump button. You know, if you die when you were trying to make a jump and the damn thing just wouldn't jump, it's not your fault. It's the game. And I'm like, oh, thank goodness. I don't suck as much as I thought I did.
That's what we call a broken game.
I haven't beaten a single boss yet. It's just so frustrating. And that was sort of the reason why I was thinking, why not make Kate Can't Game?
I've been thinking about picking up on and writing some stuff on the X-Men fanfic comic I've been wanting to do for a while, but there's multiple problems with that. First of all, you can't put it in the comic book format that I've imagined, and if I did, I'd probably have Disney and Marvel all breathing down my neck just for having it, even if I won't make any money off of it.
Well, you know, there's actually some pretty good legal reasons for that, but honestly, they should relax their grip when it comes to fan-made content.
I was thinking maybe switching it over and trying to rewrite it so it's more of just a text story, but
well, I mean, like, okay, as much as you can criticize George Lucas for things like the prequels, when fan films started up and became a big honking thing, he basically said, I want to encourage new filmmakers. And so he released a bunch of like Star Wars sound effects and other content, not music, unfortunately. That's a little too copyrighted. But he was like, use this in your fan films. Here are like the sounds of an X-Wing going by, you know, that kind of thing. Here's the sound of like, here are TIE fighter blasters versus X-Wing, you know, that kind of thing. And everyone was so grateful for the support, you know? And so if someone's making something like some X-Men fan fiction, just remember, you might want to hire that person as a director if they do a kick-ass job. Okay, let them make content. Holy shit. I mean, you can find YouTube footage of Seth MacFarlane as like Captain Kirk in his basement or something as a really young guy on bad VHS video. It's wonderful. But if Gene Roddenberry had sued his ass, oh my God. I mean, poor Seth MacFarlane, right? He's given us a lot of entertainment over the years. So seriously, they should relax their fucking grip.
Yeah, corporations have gone overboard with that and not realizing, you know, how much the fan-made content was actually free advertising for them.
That too. I mean, again, I did take copyright law in college. I understand why they're jealously guarding that copyright and their trademarks and everything, but you're right, overboard, absolutely overboard. But there are good reasons for it, and it sucks.
No, I don't see a problem if you're not making any money off of it. You're not, doing anything like that. I don't see where the issue is.
Well, they might want to in the future, of course, or they might be like, "Look, we want to sell all this merch because people are still fans, so yay!" You know, I mean, there's a lot of reasons.
That still wouldn't step on their toes, though.
Well, there's another reason to do it, though, is copyrights expire after a while. It used to be really obvious how it worked when it was just, I'm an author, you know, I'm an artist. But now we've got these corporations, and the original rule was like something's copyrighted until I think it was at one point it was 75, but then it was 50 years after the death of the creator. So you couldn't just go kill someone and take their IP. You know, you had to wait a while. But now it's like a corporation doesn't die. So when does a copyright expire?
And they keep changing it.
They can renew it over and over and over. It's just such a pain in the ass.
Yeah, well, Disney got all their corporate lawyers to find every possible loophole to keep copyrights from expiring.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
That's another thing. I've been indulging in that free weed I was given, so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Free
I'm not even
weed?
joking when I say the street value of what I was handed for free. All I had to do was drive there. About $3,000.
Damn.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool. My dad knows some people who grow and breed the stuff to sell the seeds to people who are actually growing it professionally, like to distribute, to sell. And they're like, we have all of this usable weed and we don't know what to do with it. We can't even give it away. And my dad's like, my daughter's a pothead. My daughter's a total stoner. We'll take it off your head. And they're like, okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Oh, my hair is all floopy.
Oh, man. I could have used a father like that.
Well, there are benefits to being raised by rabid and screaming hippies. On the other hand, there are drawbacks, mostly the food and clothing and the music. What was that sound?
Car going by?
Which,
Oh, I don't know. It sounded like Godzilla farting.
Yeah, Purple, why don't you try some spicy food? I found that can help with migraines.
I don't know. I've always found that grinding and baking helps with migraines.
That too.
Thanks, Beck. How you doing, by the way?
I'm kind of short on millstones.
For the longest time, I never connected mill and windmill. I guess because I'd never really thought about mills that much, but I never really understood what windmills were for, until I finally made that connection a lot later in life than I should have.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
Well, given that mills are not used for what they were used for, that made any sense?
No.
Yeah, well, since we have electric motors, they don't use the windmills like they used to.
Although, they do use them for power now, but there's also a place, it's always been called the Dutch Mill Inn on Shelburne Road. I think it's still Burlington. I don't think it's over the Shelburne border. But regardless, it's like this blue windmill looking thing that's apparently a motel.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, there's okay, it's weird. This sort of ramshackle, rundown looking building on the side of this one road clear up north of where I'm living has like a paddle wheel on it. I assume there used to be a river or something that would make it turn, but it's just sitting there on dry land, and I don't know what's up.
Yeah, well, that's part of why most cities were founded on rivers, was because they depended a lot on the paddle wheels for powering their industry.
But this thing's on the side of a road. It's weird. I mean, maybe there was a river there once, but I don't know.
Well, or maybe they transplanted the thing from somewhere else.
Now, see, that happened to a building that used to be part of my nostalgia. Again, with the Shelburne Road, although, I call it that no matter how far I go on it, it's Route 7 to everybody else. But there was this one section where you cross over some train tracks, right? And there was this weird squat square building off to the left. And my dad and I had occasion recently to drive down Shelburne Road, and I was talking to him about the building, and he said, "Oh yeah, I remember that. We drive by, it's not there." And we're like, "I thought it was there. Is it the other train tracks a bajillion miles down the road?" Turns out, no. For some reason, someone had picked up that building and moved it away and put it down like a mile from there. And we're both like, well, at least that explains it. But what the fuck?
Well, it is possible that they moved water. There used to be a stream at the end of my block that got moved.
What, like a series of dams to redirect it or something?
I guess, but it's a road now. But it used to be a stream right at the end, at the very end of the block.
And I mean, Stephanie, yes, the Winooski River, but the thing with the paddle wheel I was talking about was much, much further north. But yes, Winooski River, I go over it all the time. So yeah. It's funny, for the longest time I didn't know that was a Native American word. I thought it was like Polish. I mean, it ends in ski, you know? And I was like, so who, like, was this part of Vermont discovered by, Gerald Winooski from frickin' Poland or something? Finland, maybe? I don't know. And then it turns out it means like red onion in, I don't know, I want to say Abenaki. Yeah. I remember again with the hippie peacenik parents, they used to both work and shop at the Onion River Co-op, which is now known as City Market. It's somewhere else entirely, and it's just basically Trader Joe's. But back in the day, it was this whole thing where, like, it was literally a co-op. You go in, you work a bit, and it gives you, like, discounts or something. So it was all volunteer. And it was all health food, all rabbit food. It was all what food actually eats. It was so gross. I had like an okay-ish childhood, but not when it comes to being a super taster raised by hippies. No, no. Anyway.
Bean sprouts.
Oh my god. Oh no, wait. When we talk bean sprouts, are we talking sprouts, or are we talking like mung beans here?
Mung beans.
Okay, I mean, those aren't so bad. They go great in Asian food. But like, okay, fresh ground peanut butter that's oily and looks like turds.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I remember that. Still the for my I got the spoonful of brewer's yeast.
My parents used to put that on popcorn, for fuck's sake.
Ugh.
Oh, no.
I know, but I mean, what you gonna do? I was 6. I couldn't tell my parents, get some Pop Secret, you muppets. But
I might have some of that tonight.
Yeah.
Pop Secret. I still got one package left in there.
Sorry, Beck. As much as I love salads, it would suck to have to be forced to have them all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we've discussed again the super taster thing. I can't have dressing on salad because it's almost all made out of stuff I find disgustipating. So, like oftentimes the wait staff at a restaurant will look at me like I've just grown 2 heads when I say, sure, give me the salad, no dressing. They're like, buh? I mean, olive oil is good. Anything garlic is good. But if there's vinegar in there, no.
Garlic olive oil in salad. Doesn't sound that bad.
It sounds amazing.
Yeah, whereas I take swigs of the pickle juice out of the jar.
Oh, God. Well, to each their own, I guess. I think my love of garlic
that's gotten worse, and apparently it's something with the HRT that craving, salt and vinegar seems to be a common thing on HRT.
So what you're saying is you're pregnant?
Yeah, well, with the age I'm transitioning at, my system can't figure out if it's going through puberty or menopause, so...
Yeah, it's funny, like I went out for this long walk down the bike path because I love going by the waterfront. It's great. When I get back, of course, I've just got this line of boob sweat. And I'm like, if they'd mentioned this in the brochure, I might have opted out of the whole puberty thing. And let's not get started on anyway. So I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like vinegar is grody. I don't know, like what to. I actually used to really hate mustard because of how much vinegar was in it. But I discovered number one, if I use the French's yellow or whatever, I can take like 5 little dots on a sandwich. That, and then there, that's fine. But it turns out that the Grey Poupon or whatever, or the poop, whatever that stuff. I had no idea that there was basically no vinegar in that. And I was like, oh, so mustard actually is good when it doesn't have vinegar in it.
Okay.
I've been preferring the Dijon mustard myself.
That's the one I'm thinking of.
That's really funny because my late fiance always specified on her sandwiches 5 dots of mustard.
Huh. That's true. I mean, like I sort of look at it almost the way Australians look funny at Americans when they're like trying Vegemite for the first time, and an American will scoop it on like jelly, and they're like, "No, a light dusting, you dumbasses." That gotta. And it's the same thing with mustard, like Sarah, and you're done. I don't know. Is it weird in here? Or is it just me?
I guess if I'm trying Vegemite, I'll just have the person who knows how to do it properly. You put it on.
I mean, it sounds grody, but maybe it adds something.
Are those freeze pops you're sucking down, Diana, or what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Those are good. I like to get them for after I work in my garden.
I've always found like the packaging wants to lacerate the outsides of my mouth.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they are ever so tasty.
Well, it's really just frozen Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Though lately I've been resorting to drinking a glass of orange juice instead.
Well, I do loves me the citrus, I does. Ugh, I really should have done something more with my hair before I got on. It just look at that. Anyway.
Yeah, so what's the problem?
Well, it's like if I let it sticks out.
That's why I hide behind an avatar. I look cute instead of like me.
Well, it's funny. Like, I used to make my videos with just text on the screen, maybe a star field back there. And then someone somewhere managed to find like a picture that was under the name Bionic Dance, or maybe it was some video and they were like listening and they went, "That's the same voice." And I figured, well, fuck it then. I guess I better be on screen for a while because everyone just knows what I look like. It was an unintentional face reveal. Well, and then you know the one, Mage, yes,
yeah.
that one. And it was just like, well, okay. And I got so much derision for this. So I was just, and a lot of it was for the hair. That's why I invented Sandra, actually, and used her for years, was just because I didn't want to, deal with comments about my face. So
yeah, it was an audition for, I think, some kind of acting thing or something.
Yeah. I was in I want to say Miami at the time. Yeah.
I didn't see that one.
Well, it's not on my channel. I think you have to hunt it up somewhere.
I got it somewhere, so I can probably pull it up, but.
But anyway,
that's the reason why I'm not.
Yeah, but anyway, point being, being on camera was not always my favorite thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm more and more regretting having done a face reveal before.
I mean, it's gonna change, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but having done the gender swap, it's really dysphoric to me when people bring up the picture of me with a beard again.
Oh. I saw something like that, didn't save it, so It's starting to fade into the ether up here. So at least when it comes to me, you're safe enough.
Yeah, well, the last time I did it was 3 years ago, so.
No, you've had a little face revealed accidentally since then.
Well, yeah, that's when I was showing the shark a little bit, but. Boop the shark.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, I do still want to make that game, but I'm worried I will get caught up in the programming. And now there's this whole engine nonsense. And I don't know if I can go back to school and take one class. I don't know. I sure as hell don't want to pursue a fucking degree. Honestly, going to college was one of the worst mistakes I ever made. I could have learned my craft without it and not needed all the extra garbage or spending like tens of thousands to do it. Filmmaking should be a trade school. I'm just saying.
That's actually a good idea, especially in this, media-driven age.
And the fact that people don't have any dough.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, I'm probably never getting out from under that debt. But
yeah,
being like legally unemployed, I also don't have to pay any of it. So all that's happening is the interest is compounding over time.
Just as it's designed to.
I had the same thing happen to me, but even though all I could afford was a year at a technical institute, I still wound up with the debt from that just kind of hanging on for like 2 decades before I was able to pay it off.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm sort of holding out, hoping that some rabid and screaming lefty of a president gets into office and just says, executive order, no more student debt,
Well, Biden tried to do that, but the Republicans are challenging it in court.
Well, I know, but he didn't.
Well, not exactly.
There was only like 10 thou on his. I'm saying, tell you what, buy 2 or 3 fewer fighter jets and pay everyone's college off, okay?
Yeah, he wasn't trying to eliminate it entirely. He was trying to do half measures.
Yes, but I'm sure that it can be done as an executive order. I'm sure of it. Well, whatever.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the Navy could manage with 6 aircraft carriers instead of 7.
Mm-hmm. I mean, apparently the U.S. military has enough power to blow up the Earth, like destroy it completely 5 times over. Surely once is enough. I'm just saying.
We could.
Well, the U.S. military is the size of the next 5 countries together.
We could cut the U.S. military budget in half and still have the largest military budget in the world.
Yep.
Also raised by hippies. No, actually, my parents never smoked up as far as I knew, or at least not when I was on the scene. But still, it's a bit of a hippie thing.
My mom did just about every drug under the sun.
Yeah, part of me wants to do a 4th round of LSD. Part of me really doesn't.
I've never tried any hard drugs.
Well, my first time with LSD, I went to a friend's house because I needed a spotter on the first time, of course. And then we turned out all the lights and put on Tron. Now, that was awesome.
Oh, neat.
Probably could have turned off the sound and used just like music, but still, that was fun.
Yeah, I can definitely see that was a movie it would work with.
I'll never understand the people who do like 2001: A Space Odyssey. You would have to at least turn the sound off because that weird acid trip at the end, there's like these loud screeches and honks and stuff. And it's just, it would be traumatic if you were tripping. Wow, Traumatic If You're Trippin' would be a great name for an album.
What the fuck are they doing with Star Wars now?
Uh,
The Force is no longer required to be a Jedi thanks to Ahsoka.
What?
Are you fucking kidding me?
That's what this thing is saying here. Apparently
Now,
haven't.
are they saying they're recruiting, well, let me just say the term muggles as as Jedi knights, or are they saying you can use Jedi powers without the Force somehow?
I think they're recruiting people without Force abilities as Jedi.
I mean, I guess that's not so bad. If they had actually broken the rules of the universe where they're like, yeah, anyone can use the Force, whether they're Force sensitive or not, kind of deal, I would have been like, no. But if they're just like, yeah, we're recruiting normies to be part of our Jedi Corps, all right, I guess.
Mm.
But I mean, it still sounds really stupid. I mean, Disney has been trying to rewrite the lore to their own taste since they acquired the property, and I think that's turning off a lot of people.
It is.
Yep.
So,
Though apparently, from my hearing about this Ahsoka show, is that it's a lot of nothing.
hmm.
Like, it's a lot of people sitting and doing stuff.
Well, the thing is, do I even know you? Zodman? What is that? Anyway, the problem with that is like apparently having a high or low midi chlorian count matters, right? So it could be that someone's like, well, I have 1 nanomolecule of midi chlorian sitting in me. Choke. It's not working. Let's do it the normal way. But then like someone's all Anakin'd out with midi chlorians spilling out of their tear ducts. That's a little different. So while the Force clearly pervades everything and is generated by all life, et cetera, that doesn't mean just anybody can use it.
Yeah. Well, apparently, from I remember hearing of one review, I can't remember which episode it was, but it was basically somebody would say a line, and then there'd be like a 6-second pause between somebody doing another responding.
This is the reason I hated Blade Runner.
And they just kept doing that throughout the entire damn episode.
You know what it sounds like is sort of the not quite reverse, but kind of reverse, where someone said, "Oh, you gotta try Dragon Ball Z," and I was like, "Well, it's on. Let me give it a look." And the whole episode was two guys standing on these flat top asteroids screaming at each other, and I was like, "Are they gonna fight or what?" Just the whole episode. I hate you. It's just all trash talk. I was like, "This show is dumb."
Yeah, those filler episodes. Not a good one to start with, for sure.
Yeah. Oh well. But you can see how I was like, it's sort of the reverse, but not where it's like it's not a nothing burger. It's maybe a too much burger. I don't know.
Yeah, I think have tried to do some dubs where they cut down on that.
Yeah. I don't know. I remember when you could only get certain anime as fan subs. I'm not sure if there was ever a fan dub. Probably, but it was also probably done very poorly.
I've heard a few fan dubs of some Transformer series that weren't released in the U.S.
Yep. There's been a lot of anime that has been fan dubbed.
I still wish I could see Bumblebee in the theater. I wish people had told me, yes, the G1 Transformers make an appearance. That's what this movie's about. I would have gone and seen it, but I was so traumatized by Michael Bay that I didn't want to see a live action Transformers movie. But Bumblebee, actually, if you were to replace Bumblebee with a brown alien whose neck could go and a light up finger, it wouldn't be any different. It's basically E.T. with a transformer instead of an alien. And the Transformers are aliens, but you know what I mean.
I wouldn't mind seeing some fan dubs of some of these Gundam series that were never released in dub in the US.
I don't know. I can't keep track anymore. Like Gundam, Macross, Robotech, I can't keep track of which is which, and apparently some of them are reskins of the other, and I don't.
Yep.
I think they took some Macross and reskinned it as Transformers, if I remember correctly.
I thought that was Robotech.
Might have been
Yeah.
Robotech. Well,
Yeah,
Although
Robotech
there was
was a
that
reskin
one
of Macross.
Transformer that looks so much like a Veritech, it was crazy. Just saying.
Yeah,
Robotech was a-
I don't know why I'm blanking on his name now, but yeah, one of them actually was a recolor of a Gundam.
I remember. I think it was called Jetfire, and it was really hard to find. Like they put out 200 or 300 in the U.S. or something, and then for some reason pulled it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
Jetfire. Yeah, he was basically a Transformer reskin from, I think, Macross or Robotech.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, one of the reasons also that Bumblebee was more than acceptable is Michael Bay had nothing to do with it. Basically, the studio said we need to make another Transformers movie, and they just like this woman wrote a script, and they just gave her free reign to do it, right? And then when she finished, they just made it without really giving a damn, and it's actually a great movie. And I want to see if she's written anything else because she wrote a really good movie.
Yeah, I haven't seen Bumblebee yet because I had the same reaction. I was so sick of the Michael Bay stuff that I'd given up on the Transformers already.
Yeah,
It's
maybe we'll do that.
absolutely worth it. It really is. Oh my god, the opening scene is on Cybertron, and it kicked so much butt.
Yeah, maybe we'll do that for a movie night sometime.
Yeah, that'd be good. Would be fun to watch it and have some people to discuss it with.
The only thing that bothered me was that they had to make Bumblebee lose his voice somehow. And he's not the Transformer who didn't speak, damn it. But anyway.
Yeah, I had always wondered why that became a thing that actually held on for a couple of the animated series that Bumblebee couldn't talk.
Yeah, that was it from the first Michael Bay Transformer movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I don't remember that being true in the cartoon at all.
No, he was talked. Yeah, basically in the movie they had a where Megatron destroyed his voice.
I don't get it.
Which didn't really make sense for a Transformer because they should have been able to repair it.
Well, they didn't have a chance to repair it until late, and I think they repaired it near the end.
In Bumblebee, he's basically like a scout. He's the only Transformer on the planet except for these other two, but that's not important.
That's exactly what he is a scout. In fact, that's what they call him in the in the video games. He's a scout.
Yeah,
well I mean, the point is that he's on Earth for that reason, and so he's all alone because he needs to report back to Optimus that Earth is a place they could go.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's in the original cartoon series that he was the Autobot scout. That was how they explained about him, being a VW. That basically he was built to be very fuel efficient, so he had a longer range to scout.
It was weird seeing them transform before they got out to Earth. I don't know if you remember the first episode.
They were completely different.
Yeah.
I love how many like 80s cartoons would just sort of hand wavy the transformation of one character into something else. Like, I love Bionic 6. In the very first episode, when they bionicize the family, they're just put on this weird wheel thingy and little things zap, zap, zap at them. There's no like installing of bionics and cybernetics and stuff. They just got zapped by magic lightning, and now they have not even superpowers, bionic powers. So it's just like, man, you guys kids, we accepted it. Yeah, sure. Mechanical lightning can definitely turn you into a superhero.
Yeah, some kind of nanotech thing going on, I guess.
Well, but that's the thing, is it really wasn't all that important, was it? It was just, I have my heroes. I don't care how it works. Yeah. I mean, granted, I do care about consistency in a fictional universe, but really I don't need to know how it all works.
This makes no sense, yet it's working.
Yeah, well, that's the stuff I like to fill in. Is get the backstories of exactly how they got their powers and how these things are supposed to work.
I mean, I do like that, and it is a nice bonus when stuff like that's explained, but I don't need it. Unless, of course, it makes no sense at all. Like, even within the fictional universe of itself. Like, say they have some sort of jump drive or something, and it always works a certain way right up until they need it not to.
Yep.
That kind of thing. And I'm like, no, you established precedent already, and now you're violating your own rules. Stop that.
Yeah, that's the thing they'll always lose me. They've got to maintain internal consistency. That's why I couldn't handle reading the Bible.
Yeah, that does become a problem with a lot of comic books too, because of just the compound and all the stories together are into the same universe, and it starts contradicting each other. It could be a mess.
Well, and I still have a fan theory about the Big Bang Theory and young Sheldon to explain all of the inconsistencies. Because, well, the Big Bang Theory contradicts itself a lot, and young Sheldon contradicts the Big Bang Theory a lot. And the only way I could explain it is that if you consider both of them within the bubble of a fictional universe, then within the universe of young Sheldon, eventually the Big Bang Theory is made about Leonard, but because Sheldon knows Leonard, he became a character. So the adult Sheldon that we see in the Big Bang Theory is just an actor playing Sheldon, where young Sheldon is the real Sheldon on whom he was based. Because young Sheldon is much more internally consistent than the Big Bang Theory is. So it's the only way I can really, reconcile some of those differences.
Well, since they had the Big Bang Theory first, I thought that young Sheldon was just kind of his memories of being a child, and he didn't have quite the idyllic memory that he claimed to have.
Well, but in the show, he claimed to have like horrible memories. He's always talking about like how his dad got hurt trying to put the house back on the cinder blocks again. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
My dad got bitten by a badger while he was trying to retrieve some jerky. That kind of thing. Whereas in young Sheldon, they live in this nice suburban home, and his dad's a fairly stand-up guy, and all of that. They're not the sort of redneck white trash, trailer trash we're led to believe they are in the Big Bang Theory. So again, that was a biggie I had to reconcile.
Yeah, you're right. The father doesn't fit his description in Big Bang at all.
His brother really does. And I gotta say, the best characters on Young Sheldon are Missy and Meemaw. They really are. I love Missy's snarkiness. And, I intend to stay young as long as I possibly can. But if I ever am forced to get old, I'd like to have an attitude like Meemaw's. She's awesome. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I suppose I should work on being a lot more snarky. I'm getting up there.
Yeah. Although, I mean, I have had to learn to moderate my snarkiness to try to make it not seem personal. And boy, is that hard. Well. I mean, people give me opportunities to good-naturedly rib them all the time, but I've found that, people start to get cranky with you if you do it too much. So I'm moderating my snark output, or at least by moderating it, I mean filtering.
Well, it also depends on who. That some people don't get when it's good-natured. Especially difficult since we have a disproportionate amount of autistic people in the community.
There is that. Although I have found that a lot of autistic jokes are understood by autistic people, but not by neurotypicals.
Oh, yeah, I find that a lot.
Yeah, same here.
Also, I'm in this Facebook group for neurodivergent people, and I'm seeing some folks trying to describe it as neurospicy rather than divergent. You see,
Okay.
I
Interesting
guess
way of
it's
putting
supposed
it.
to be. I think it's supposed to be empowering. You know,
I guess. I don't really
Mm.
see it. I don't really see it as all that empowering, but okay.
Well, it's like we're not divergent. We don't have a condition. We're just, spicy. It's sort of like when they tried to make curvy not mean hourglass anymore. Where now if you're curvy, it means you're kind of chubby. That kind of thing. It's like you took a word that meant one thing and rebranded it. Well, in this case, like spicy, neurospicy. It's a neurodiverse, same vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm
Well, I
fine with
don't have a
divergent.
problem being divergent when you consider what the original thing was. It's something I would want to diverge from.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Really?
I think it's kind of a silly term too, but apparently it's catching on.
Yeah. I'm highly suspicious of anyone who claims to be normal.
It's just gonna become one of these things where we're gonna have to be offended by it.
What do you mean?
Oh well, switch from. Oh, you say I'm divergent. I'm offended.
I see what you nah. I am absolutely divergent. That's all there is to it. I mean, I am off the beaten path and I know it and I'm okay with it. So if you call me neurodivergent, I'll be like, yeah,
Or is it gonna be
absolutely.
one of these we're gonna be offended for you kind of things?
Ooh, I hate those. I've had some people leap to my defense when someone called me a dyke. And I was like, dude, no, that's a friend of mine. We totally call each other that. Stop acting like this is a protest. It's not about
Yep.
to be a protest. I'm not insulted. Stop it. That kind of thing. It's happened.
Hey, harmonica man. Well, I have already seen instances of people on the right getting upset about being called neurotypical.
Oh, Jesus, Harold Christ. What do they want to be called? Oh, I know what they want to be called. They want to be called neuronormal, don't they?
Well, they don't want to be called anything because they're normal, so we're just supposed to brand the rest of us.
Yeah. Normal is so, well, even when it's not a moving target, it's pretty stupid. I don't know. I like on the one hand, I can understand the appeal of being normal to fit in. I get that. On the other hand, it's a bit more fun to be a freaking weirdo. I mean, even when the normies heap scorn upon you, damn it, my world's interesting. Except when it's boring. I'm looking at you, doctor's office waiting rooms, but still.
Oh my. I hope that the what do you want to call it? I hope the doctor's waiting rooms can be less
Boring?
boring. Yeah, that's a good one.
Well, I mean, here's the problem is they tell you be sure to show up 15 minutes before your appointment and you fill out whatever form it is and you've got like 12 minutes left and then you're sitting there and sitting there and sitting there. Oh, look, it's my appointment time. Sitting there, they never, why did I show up 15 minutes early?
Right.
Yeah.
And then when they finally get you in the back room, you sit there for another 15, 30 minutes.
Well, and especially the thing we've got now with our clinics is that you can do all those forms online before you even get to the office.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So then you're showing up 15 minutes early, and all you do is go up to the desk and say, I'm here. And they say, okay, go sit down. You'll be called.
Yeah, well, still, it's the I got there 15 minutes early and you're not on time,
Yeah.
Oh, Like, I get showing up an hour before your flight, but 15 minutes before my doctor's visit, fuck you.
Well, and they've got the board there, so you show up 15 minutes before your appointment, and the board says your doctor's running a half hour late.
And while we're on the subject, could we do something about those stupid menus? You know, where it's like, press 1 for this, press 2 for that. You know, if there could be some way to standardize them across every phone system so you'd know exactly what to hit,
Yep.
that'd be pretty radical.
Yeah,
You
that'd
know,
work.
but I mean, even so, it's just like, well, you've seen all those memes now of someone like, and it's me yelling agent, me yelling representative at the automated voice thingy, you know?
I do my payments for my electric bill over the phone, and they keep changing in the menu.
Ugh. Why? I mean,
Well-
what's being helped?
And can we at least have the option of just pushing numbers and not having it try to recognize the words we're saying?
Oh,
Because then it's like every time I cough, it picks an option at random.
That's something that they keep changing on the electric company here. Sometimes I can just hit numbers, and sometimes I have to actually say something.
Now, one thing that did work out to my benefit with a system like that is where I'm on and it says, please describe the nature of your issue. Is it this, or this? And I went, I don't know. And they went, fine, we'll transfer you to a representative. And I was like, I am using this anytime I'm on one of those. And they asked me what the problem is. I don't know. It doesn't always work, but God damn it, it worked once. It's got to work again.
Something else I have noticed, sometimes even if it doesn't give you the number options, if you count which options it gives you, you can actually still hit the number, and it'll give it to you.
Well, also, if they're letting you hit numbers, a lot of times if you hit 0, it'll bring you over to an actual person.
No, it's like say, do you want to make a payment, and are you checking the account now, or are you calling for a problem? If I hit 1 to make a payment, it'll still go through instead of just saying to say.
Yeah. I've never accidentally told them, yes, talk to me in Espanol, but I know someday I'm going to hit the wrong thing and I'll be like, oh, crap, how do I switch it back? I can speak like 13 words in Spanish. Uh-oh.
You hang up and start over again.
Yep.
I know. Actually, it is funny, like I took 2 years of Spanish in high school. I really don't remember a lot. I never got fluent, but if I'm watching something that's in Spanish with subtitles, I can actually a little bit suss out what's being said by recognizing certain words. And if I really don't get it, oh, hello, subtitles. But, it's interesting how knowing things about language, even the English language, if a little bit, can help you understand Spanish. It's weird.
Yeah, I tried to pick up some Spanish during the pandemic, and it just didn't quite take.
Well, this is weird. Okay, you know how my parents spend a lot of time in Mexico, right? And I was doing my usual rant bitching about gendered nouns. Apparently, and I don't know if this is only Mexico, but apparently they're trying to get rid of those. Like they're just going to use the neutral version or something. Like I remember there was a neutral one where it's like te instead of el and la or something. And so apparently they're trying to get rid of those noun genders. And if they do that, I'm going to learn Spanish. Just saying.
I don't know. I kind of like the gendered nouns and the gendered adjectives.
But they add no functionality to the language at all. They add nothing to it except randomness.
It can make it harder to learn.
And besides, how do you know you're not misgendering the ship?
Yeah, okay.
Well, I do think it's funny. There's a couple of ships like in the American Navy that are named after guys, but they still call them she. And that makes me laugh a little bit because a lot of those folks are also the same ones who have a conniption over gender stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I hadn't really thought of that, but you're right. The Gerald Ford is a she.
Oh, I wonder how much cognitive dissonance is going on that ship.
Considering that a vehicle is usually referred to as she, does that mean Kit from Knight Rider was actually a she?
Although I have heard people describe their cars as he and she, or she, whatever. Maybe both. I don't know. A car can be like non-binary, I'm sure.
Actually, yeah, I've had most of the cars have been she. I've had one or two that have been he, and I did have one that I just called E because I couldn't tell.
Well, my car is really an it. I look at it kind of like a spaceship because it does look kind of futuristic-y. And I stuck one of those N7 stickers on it from Mass Effect, so it's like and it's right by my window, the driver's window. So it sort of looks like where you might put a pilot's call sign on their jet or something,
Mhm.
and so I tend to think of my car more like a spaceship.
Well, then on that front fender, you should get some of those stick figures and put a row of them on the front fender with the the red circle with the slash through them for how many pedestrians you've taken out.
Oh,
Is
man.
an idea.
Yeah. I actually think I saw something like that with Star Wars characters. Maybe it was stormtroopers or something. I don't know. But
Oh,
maybe I should get like a bunch of like sideways scorch marks, and put them on so it looks like I go that fast and there was like a jet exhaust or something. I don't know.
Yeah, having the people with the X's on them for how many you run over would definitely raise questions.
Yeah, I was actually a little annoyed because there's a website you can look up like all of the vanity plates in your state. Not every state has it, but Vermont does, California does, I think Washington does. But so I looked it up and someone else has XLR82XS, and I was like, damn it. So, accelerate to excess, XLR82XS. Yeah.
Okay.
So, someone else had it. And I was also like, with a license plate like that, I bet the cops would look at you like, give you more of a glance than other cars. Assuming they got it. I don't know. Because it sounds like.
That's the thing with the vanity plates is, how many people are going to get them?
Well, I have one that says 3D artist, but unfortunately there weren't enough spaces, so I left out the I. But it says some people when they saw it, they said, "What is 3 Dart Street? Where is that?" And I'm like, "It's 3D artist, you bastards. You know it is. You know me well enough." So, oh well.
Yeah, when I get the new plates for the van, I might just get them to say purple.
I saw a red Volkswagen Bug with the license, and I mean bright ass red, and it had the license plate tomato.
I'm just wondering how confused people will get if the plate says purple and the van is red.
See, I'll be honest, I would have thought that was some sort of like Doppler effect, red shift, blue shift joke, but I don't know.
Well, see, you need to get the van painted orange.
Yeah, I'd love to get it painted, but that's money I don't have.
Well, that's why you get a hobo to do it.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. My neighbor had his little pickup truck. He just painted it, and then the whole thing died on him.
Oh, that stinks.
Yeah.
Like, did something happen, or did he just get in and oh, damn it?
Yeah, basically tried to start it. It took it in, couldn't fix it.
Now, one thing about my car is that, you don't have keys. You have a fob, right? It looks like an egg. I always call it the car egg. And so when you get inside, it literally has an on-off button. You push the damn on-off button, and there's no indicator to tell you what's going on. I mean, sure, the screens light up in certain ways, but I mean, even when you turn it off, they stay on until you leave and lock the car. The only way I know whether or not my car is on or off is when I'm stopped and I open the driver's side door. Did my music keep going or did it stop? That is the only way to tell whether or not my car is on or off. And it is just like, couldn't you at least give me a switch to flick, something a little more indicative of the current state of the car?
Yeah, I hate those toggle buttons that you can't tell.
What, you can't hear the engine running or not?
It's like a hybrid, so no.
Oh.
Yeah. You know, I mean, those electric cars are so not exactly silent, but way too close. If there's any like distracting noise, you may not know a car is there. I mean, there have been times when I was like about to step into a crosswalk and all of a sudden, you know, like with that electric hum that they make.
Yeah, well,
And I
that
was like,
sound that the
"Yo."
Prius makes is artificially engineered
Hmm.
because the car was too quiet, so they were afraid pedestrians wouldn't hear it approaching.
Oh, it's funny. There's this sci-fi series I used to like until it got super repetitive. It's the Honor Harrington series, where apparently from within these gigantic space warships, you really couldn't hear your weapons being fired, especially since this book was trying to be really realistic, so space is silent and all that, right? So apparently each ship's captain chooses sound effects for every time something happens so they can play like through the ship's sound speakers. And some of the captains get a little eclectic where it's like, you know, oh yeah, the firing our weapons is sort of like Piccolo's trilling or something, you know, and when we get hit, it's the low drone of a cello or something, you know. It's like, dude, I don't think your crew is gonna get that, but okay.
I
Let
can
me
see
get-
that being realistic, though, if it's left up to each individual captain, whatever
Let me-
his musical taste is.
When we get hit, it's the Wilhelm scream.
Mm. Yeah. Now, every time a casualty report comes in that tells you how many people died in the last explosion, you know. Yeah. But,
I don't know. Maybe you could just make the computer make that scream every time one of its terminals gets hit.
There you go.
I don't know. There was that one dude who programmed his Roomba, so every time it hit something, it would swear. It wasn't as cool as I pictured when someone told me about that, because it would like bump into something and it would actually pause and then go on this almost longish rant that was just full of swears and then move on. I thought it would just be fuck, shit, you know, like that, where it would just be these short little.
That's what you need. You need to do it short. It needs to be short ones.
Yeah.
I wonder what the Roomba would do if it fell down the stairs then.
Break.
Well, it just, you know, if it says a different swear word for each step it hits on the way down.
Fuck, shit, damn.
Is that a glass pipe?
I have a bong too, but it's not as effective. You know. And honestly, this is not as much of a high as vaping. Vaping compared to this is an acid trip. But like I and my parents have noticed that I'm much easier to get along with if I've had some weed in my system recently. Like I don't have to even be high. I can go a day or two, but apparently I'm not quite so grouchy and snarky with them.
Yeah. Well, it tends to mellow people out.
Well, in a way, though, it has kind of changed my life because I used to have a bit of a short fuse. And honestly, mostly only with my parents, the more I really analyze their behavior, oh my God. But, you know, like regardless, it does make it easier to take their nonsense. And, you know, we're actually a closer family for it. And considering where we were like a year or two ago, that's saying something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
And Molly just brought me one of her toys to play with.
She
wants to play tug of war.
Xander's playing with that little thing. You know where it's like a little pyramid with 3 grooves and there's balls in there? He's playing with that.
Oh, yeah. I got one of those for Sammy.
It's very cute. He knows he's on camera. Now, Diana does not sound like she's doing well.
No. It's doing
Yo!
worse earlier. Yeah, when I went to my friends to celebrate their birthday, I brought Molly up with me, and they had a little stuffed animal for Molly to play with, and she gnawed a piece off of it and then started pulling the stuffing out of it.
So I have all the cat toys that I've gotten for these two. Well, Columbia never plays with toys either, but Xander, the only one he likes is this magenta sort of shoelace that's stretchy. It's the only thing he'll play with.
Well,
Or at least I take that back. It's his favorite thing to play with.
I get Sammy these crinkly tubes of poking, which basically it's just a stuffed tube, but it's got like a layer of mylar in it, so it makes a crinkly noise. And
Yeah.
well, he does. He grabs it with his front claws and kicks at it with his back claws, and it's like, yeah, this is the third one he's eviscerated.
Yeah, I've got these little crackle bones for Molly. If you want, it makes like a crackling sound. I think it's like almost sounds like a plastic bottle inside of it where you like crunch it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Come to think of it, I should probably go out later today. I am this close to being out of kitty treats.
Oh, well. Unfortunately, that can't be allowed. So, yep, you must suffer for it.
I mean, it's much like everything else. Columbia's pretty chill about it, but Xander is such a greedy guts. He begs left and right. Usually, like if I walk into the kitchen, he'll get up on some counters and just meow, 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 and I'm like, dude, I'm making food for me. I'll give you kitty treats later, that kind of thing. If I go anywhere near the cabinet where I keep them, oh my gosh, he goes bug fuck.
Oh, every time I go in the kitchen, Sammy just sits in the doorway and stares at me to make me feel guilty about getting something without giving him the snack.
Mm-hmm.
I found out that Molly likes Cheez-Its.
Oh, so does Sammy. He likes those a lot more than his kitty treats.
Yeah, it was funny. I wish I had my camera out for it when I was giving her one. She had this big wide-eyed look like, oh, wow, thank you.
Well, Sammyson has never bothered the garbage cans. He leaves them alone. But one time I had a burnt Cheez-It and I dropped it in the wastebasket by my chair. That was the only time he tried to fish something out of the garbage.
You know what I want to know is how the whole trope came about where you give cats a saucer of milk because they're lactose intolerant. So how did that get started? Oh, somebody's here. Hello.
You didn't realize that they were lactose intolerant at the time?
I guess, but it's super unhealthy to give them milk.
Yeah, well, I think it started with, barn cats that weren't completely domesticated. So while they were milking the cows, they'd, put something down for them to get them to be a bit friendlier.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, cats,
Yeah, well, one of my cats loved ice cream, so. Yeah, when I got the cardboard cubes, when I'd finish a carton, I'd just flatten it out and I'd let her lick the carton off.
Hello, Randall.
Sammy's not interested mostly in human food, but the one thing is, anytime I have a cup of yogurt, I have to share that with him.
Xander absolutely wants cheese. I mean, he doesn't, but he does. He's attracted by the smell, but he doesn't actually want to eat any. Except he looks like he wants to, but then decides he really shouldn't.
Sammy does that too, that if I have, especially I like the spreadable cheese on crackers, and I have to give him something like half the size of a pea, and once he's had that little taste of it, then he's lost interest.
God, now I want some spray cheese on crackers.
I have a dog version of peanut butter in that kind of a spray cheese form.
I don't know how I got started, but I've been watching this video about it's a British guy reacting to stuff about the United States. And it's weird how much he thinks we're like the greatest country on earth and he wants to move here just oh so badly, right? But for some reason, he just could not get the concept of cheesy macaroni, right? Mac and cheese. He just couldn't get, like somehow in his brain, the concept of Velveeta just would not gel.
I was thinking about making some mac and cheese tonight for dinner.
I made a casserole yesterday with macaroni in it and a lot of cheese.
Yeah, that's basically what I'm making. It's my grandmother's recipe, or slightly altered, but
Yeah, pretty much anything could do with being smothered in cheddar cheese.
yeah,
I'm not the world's biggest. I mean, cheddar's okay. I prefer like mozzarella, Gouda, Swiss.
I like Swiss on sandwiches a lot, but mostly I like just putting the shredded cheddar on just about everything that's hot.
See, usually if I'm going to do that, it's going to be mozzarella. Maybe it's just the result of being raised by a Sicilian father. I don't know.
Well, and again, you say you're a super taster, mozzarella is a much milder taste.
Yeah, there is that.
The cheddar, I like it, like the ultra sharp if I can get it.
Oh, I like, the extra sharp is what I like.
Okay, Smart Food, like the cheesy popcorn? Well, we have a local brand, Cabot, and they put out this seriously sharp cheddar dusted like fucking popcorn.
Yeah, we get the Cabot cheese here.
Sounds good.
Oh, okay. I know it like comes from New England. I'm not sure if it originated in Vermont, but I know they have a place they make it here. And like I don't know. I don't know how many people see it or know it. I didn't really see it in Washington State or California.
Okay, apparently I'm not supposed to put this toy down, even though she's not really playing with it anymore. Because every time I put it on the floor, she picks it back up and hands it to me.
Maybe she's playing fetch with you.
I don't know. Set it down, since you're not playing with it. Okay, staring at it, staring at me.
I think you're supposed to run with it so she can chase you.
Maybe.
Xander does little tricks for his kitty treats. Like I can toss them to him and he'll catch them out of the air with his mouth kind of thing. It's pretty cool.
And she hands it to me.
Also, if I hold one over his head, he'll stand up for it, It's pretty cool.
Now see, Sammy-san's he's not that food motivated. He wants the treats, but he's not going to do any effort for them. On the other hand, if I pull out the brush, he will do damn near anything to get brushed.
Well, I know Columbia does not like being brushed. I'm not sure I've tried it with Xander. I have a brush around here somewhere. I also have this weird, glove that has little circles all over it, that are sort of up, and you just pet your cat with this glove.
Yeah, those are pretty good.
Oh, yeah. I've got one of those, too. And Sloth Girl had ordered this thing they called the Equigroomer. And actually, it does work pretty good as far as, getting the loose hair out of their coats. But it's like when she got it, I looked at it and it's like, that's an 18-tooth hacksaw blade in a block of wood. That's all it is.
And I saw this video of someone shearing a sheep that had been so matted and it almost like if a sheep could have dreadlocks, that's how clumped together it was. And when they shaved all of it off of the sheep, it came off in this big rug-like sort of just because it was that clotted together. It was crazy pants.
Yeah, that's pretty common.
Well, I wouldn't know. I don't shear sheep.
Yeah, actually, when they shear sheep, it usually does come off as one big blanket.
Wow, I haven't thought of that. Do you remember she shears sheep by the shear shop or whatever it is? You remember that? It was like a tongue twister.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember that one.
Well, it was like sort of usually introduced with the, what was it, something pickle picked up
Peter
peck of paper.
Piper.
That one, yes, thank you. Usually it was introduced within minutes of that one, at least when I was a kid.
Yeah, I remember Sister Sally sells seashells by the seashore.
Yeah,
I never heard Sister Sally. I just heard it was she sells seashells by the seashore.
yeah. That's how I usually heard it.
Yeah, because that initial she makes it harder to say the rest of it. It's like trying to say Worcestershire sauce, you know.
Hmm.
There's a town called Worcester in Vermont. It's one of the only reasons I can pronounce the damn thing.
Well, since nobody can agree on the pronunciation, Sloth Girl just calls it W sauce.
Oh. Yeah, my brain went somewhere horrible with that, and it involved George W. Bush. So anyway.
Oh, no thank you. Yeah, now I think I've got to go and, run a washcloth through my ears.
I'm such a helper.
Oh.
Well, the world is full of W's, so how could it be wrong to sing death, 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 devil, devil, evil, evil songs?
I remember something where it's like, what a stupid scroll. It just says Hoster, Hoster, Hoster over and over again. You know.
Didn't get that one.
Well, it's if you say Hoster like too many times, it summons the demon Hoster.
Ah.
It's sort of like Beetlejuice, except you can count on being ripped to shreds.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be right back after these messages.
What else is going on?
Need some jet fuel, you see.
Yeah.
Well, okay, technically jet fuel would be, say, Everclear or 151. This only has caffeine.
Yeah.
I keep saying the Russians would have beat us to the moon if the engineers didn't keep drinking the fuel. Their original rockets were actually fueled on a low-grade vodka.
I mean, I've heard stories of, like, from yonks ago, we're talking 1920s or whatever, where people would like drink whatever the hell alcohol it was they were using in lamps. I don't know, something like that, just to get a little drunk.
Yeah, during Prohibition.
Yeah.
Or one of the tricks was taking a bottle of mouthwash and straining it through a loaf of bread to get the alcohol.
Interesting.
I remember kids in high school were drinking NyQuil.
Oh, God.
Yep.
I understand that it usually comes with an emetic now, so if you drink too much, you barf. Also,
well, mostly they stopped putting alcohol in the... Yeah, they stopped putting alcohol in the over-the-counter stuff.
Oh. I thought they hadn't done that. They just put an emetic in it, but okay.
Well, and then also they've got the thing that, when it's ringing up, they make you show an ID. You've got to be over 18 to buy it now.
I knew somebody who was really hard up as being an alcoholic who was drinking the rubbing alcohol.
That could not have tasted good. And I'm sure, I seem to remember hearing about how that just wouldn't really get you drunk. It would just slowly kill you. Maybe I'm thinking of some other alcohol substitute, but there was something like that, where if you drink the wrong kind of alcohol, you're not going to get drunk. You're just going to get sick.
That's possible.
Well, the isopropyl alcohol will definitely make you sick. I don't know whether or not it would make you drunk.
Well, okay. I've only vomited from too much alcohol 2, maybe 3 times in my life. But has anyone else who's done that noticed that you sober up almost immediately?
Yeah. Well, part of it is with the vomiting, you get a big adrenaline surge too. So the adrenaline surge kind of overrides a lot of the effects of the alcohol on your brain.
It's just, it always seemed so strange, like incongruous. Like even if there's a reason for it, it just seemed like black magic.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
basically, it's your body going into a panic mode. It's like, am I going to die?
Well, come to think of it, I mean, you've all heard that story about when I had to save my girlfriend's life. I had been drinking the night before, and I think I woke up hungover. But boy, howdy, was I not hungover when I had to go save her life.
I wonder if that's the reason why I tend to feel less drunk when I drink on stream than when I'm just sitting and watching something.
Man, I've only gotten like drunk on a live stream a couple of times. It was fun, but I don't know. Like that time I marinated gummy bears in Captain Morgan overnight.
Oh yeah, I tried that myself after you did that. That was good.
Yeah. I got fucking schnockered on that show.
What was really good, I tried it again later on with these cola flavored gummies.
Oh, I know those. They're Haribo or Haribo or whatever, right?
Yeah, I did that with the those ones. Those are pretty good with the rum.
I should try that. I mean, I haven't had alcohol in more than a year for sure. It was the last time I was in Seattle and I went to the Mercury, and the time before that was more than a year ago. I just don't drink anymore, but there's no reason not to buy a tiny thing at Captain Morgan, marinate some of those root beer gummies, and then what aren't they root beer? I thought they were. I don't know. Whatever.
The ones I had were cola flavored.
Okay, but yeah, get some of those, marinate them in a little of the Captain's, see what happens. Maybe get one of those little like airplane bottle size things of the Captain, and just the of the bottles. That's worth it.
Bag.
Well, I can't drink rum, but I like to do the gummy bears and vodka.
Vodka's not bad. I can't do like whiskey and bourbon, and I absolutely can't do gin.
I finally finished up my Crystal Head vodka.
Yeah. Randall is saying if you're vomiting, sniff alcohol swabs. They work for about 60% of the population.
Well,
basically, the alcohol swabs are just the isopropyl alcohol, the rubbing alcohol.
Wow. Hello. But no, seriously. Yeah.
That one didn't go down too smooth, huh?
But no, if I'm vomiting from alcohol, once I'm done, it's over. I wouldn't have time to sniff something. I mean, maybe if I was feeling sick to my stomach and thought I might vomit, I'd do it. But if it's in the aftermath, how would it do any good, right?
Well, I think he's saying not necessarily from alcohol if you're vomiting from some other reason.
Okay, my bad.
I'm actually kind of guessing on that context, but
still, that would make a lot more sense. So I've been playing Starfield. Anyone else playing Starfield?
No, I haven't.
It's, my expectations were, I won't say low, I'll say managed. I did not want to get my hopes up the way I did for, say, Cyberpunk 2077 or Stray, and then get disappointed again. And what I got was a lot better than I feared. Because if you played Fallout or Skyrim or any of those, I mean, it's a Bethesda game. It's basically Fallout in space. And though the plot seems kind of derivative of Mass Effect, it's still a fun game to play because it's very open world. There is a lot to discover. It's a bit of a walking simulator, unfortunately. But, I mean, it's a fun game to play. I don't know if it's really worth the $70 they wanted for it, but it's still fun.
I heard it had some of the same problems that No Man's Sky had with a lot of nothing going on.
Yes and no. Oh boy, it's hard to describe. I mean, there isn't a lot to interact with in the various worlds that you can land on, unless you land on one that's absolutely populated. I mean, there's tons of scientific and manufacturing, like plants or whatever, on planets, some of them abandoned, some of them not, and things like that. The ones that are abandoned might be full of, like, pirates and stuff, but abandoned by the original owners, no longer used for its original purpose, for those of you who are feeling pedantic. And then there are times where it's like you're walking to some anomalous thing you see on the map, and when you get there, you're within scanner range of a bunch of other anomalous things on the map. So it's like there's a lot to discover, but you have to walk through a lot of emptiness to get there.
Yeah,
I think another place where it failed was the space travel, because most of it is just go to the map and then you fast travel to the place you want to go. There's not a lot of feeling like you piloted your ship, except in combat.
That's probably what they're talking about, is having to walk a lot of nothing to get to something.
Yeah, but once you get to something, it's usually pretty damn interesting.
Though, from my hearing, the No Man's Sky, they apparently have fixed the problems they had with that early stuff, where there was a lot of empty space. They apparently have fixed that.
I tried to get back into it. I still have a copy, and did not see a way to wipe my character and start fresh. And so I was like deep in the thick of everything, and I forgot what all the controls were. And I was like, I want to start over from the goddamn tutorial. Please let me start it. And I couldn't figure out how.
And maybe pull up a tutorial online and watch through it.
Maybe. But I mean, I'd like to give it a try and see what it's become. But I remember the disastrous release.
Yeah,
oh my God.
Yeah, from what I'm hearing is they apparently have fixed that since then. It's actually good now.
Well, I mean, part of the problem was that, every now and then you go to some space station, there's a bunch of aliens there, and after a while you manage to translate their speech, and then they're not saying anything at all that's important. And then sometimes you'd go into these, like, I forget if they were planets or like weird space stations that clearly were made by some ancient race. You go walking in and maybe something will move or light up or whatever, but they never meant anything. And I was just like, if there's a larger story here or something I could discover, I don't see it. I mean, I think a much better game, at least in terms of discovering things, is Elite Dangerous. Elite Dangerous just feels more real. It feels more immersive. I don't know. It's No Man's Sky. It felt like the difference between console gaming and PC gaming, where Elite Dangerous is more PC than console.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'll have to give the No Man's Sky and give this Starfield game a try sometime.
Every time you say Starfield, I'm thinking of an orange cat with a space helmet.
That's good. I like that. I'd actually read that comic. Well, you know me. I'll read almost anything that's set in space. Almost anything. My gosh, save me from giving Dune another try. The new movie is great, but I cannot find another iteration of Dune I enjoy.
I still have to give that new movie a try.
Well, no spoilers or nothing. I think they just did a better job with the characters. They feel more like real people. Like there's this great dynamic between Paul and his father, and the relationship between him and that one dude whose name I can never remember, where he treats him like an uncle or a big brother or something. And it just felt like these characters are real people in an epic situation, and they behave like heroes, but they're also relatable in ways that none of the other, like, Paul Atreides were. So
the last movie of Dune I remember, it seemed like it started with about a 20-30 minute cold read of the book.
That sounds like the Lynch version.
Yeah, I tried to read the book and I tried to watch one of the other versions of the movie, and It couldn't hold my interest long enough for me to get into the story.
The new movie would. It's just there's something about it. They made it more accessible.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to part 2. I'll have to rewatch part 1 before I go. It's funny, for a long time, like when I was in Seattle, I used to go to the movies all the time. But in San Diego, the nearest movie theater was a very, very, very long walk away. So I mostly just waited for things to be streaming or come out on disc. Been going to the theater a lot more. Well, and of course there was COVID. Been going to the theater a lot more lately, and I kind of missed it.
I've been watching the One Piece live action series. It's actually been pretty decent.
Don't know anything about it. I mean, I know it exists, but beyond that, nothing.
They stuck very faithfully to the source material, the anime. It's condensed, so it's a lot easier to digest, I think.
Yeah,
I
Utah Outcast was talking about it.
I don't know the premise.
Basically, there's this pirate who was like this king of the pirates. He amassed this huge fortune and hid it in this one place, and everybody's trying to find it. It's called the One Piece. And whoever can find it becomes the king of the pirates. And then there's these special supernatural fruits that if you eat them, you gain in superpowers, but at the cost of not being able to swim anymore, which is kind of a big deal. Well, if you're out in the water all the time.
Oh, I didn't know that they made people not able to swim.
Yeah,
I just saw a few random episodes of the cartoon. I didn't know much about it.
Yeah, that's the trade-off. Is if you eat the fruit, the devil fruit, you trade being able to swim for the superpowers.
Yeah, not being able to swim kind of sucks.
Work?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're making the motions of swimming, how do you just sink? Is that it?
You just sink.
Okay. Like no matter how much you try to actually swim, you just.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, not being able to swim would kind of suck when you live on a ship.
So what if you just went around all the time where you have like some water wings on, and if you fall in the water, you can just poof, poof. You know?
That might work, actually.
Yeah. I mean, there's usually a way around those evil gypsy curses.
Oh, gypsy. I've been looking into the term gypsy lately.
Yeah, I know it's offensive as fuck, but still,
Apparently, it's from the people who have an issue. It's not as much of an issue as we've been making it out. It seems from what I'm reading.
Well, that happens a lot.
Yep.
See if I can find the actual statistics here. Here we are.
We have a submarine.
Gypsy versus Romani. The 8% strongly or somewhat prefer the term gypsy. 39% strongly or somewhat prefer the term Romani. And then there was additional 15% that kind of had other terms that they liked. 33% said they didn't care or which way they used it. And then when asked why they preferred the thing, only 35% said that they didn't like the term gypsy because of it being a racial slur. So apparently it's very much more of a minority seeing it as a racial slur as it's made out as it tends to be made out to be.
Well, gypsy originally was just the Romanian word for wanderers. Just for people who didn't have a home. They were originally actually the Jewish refugees who practiced the Cabal. So that's why they were noted for doing the fortune telling and that.
Yeah, so it seems from this the preferred term overall would be Romani, but if you were to slip in say a gypsy or something, you got maybe about a third of them saying that they wouldn't like it.
Yeah, well, it just wouldn't sound right to say, yes, I will put upon you a Romany curse. It just doesn't carry the same. I don't know. Usually I just go with genies on that one because that's, less attached to real people. I've often wondered, like, how would I get around the usual, like, you made a wish and I'm granting it, but in a way that really sucks, where I'd have to take my first wish and wish that every wish, including this one, be granted as I intend. That kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, from what I can gather, overall, the whole gypsy thing is mostly us just trying, being we're going to be offended for you for the most part.
Yeah,
I
Greg
saw a
says it's
comic
a
where-
similar breakdown about the term Indian for Native Americans.
Mm.
I saw a great comic where someone was like, they summon a genie, they rub the lamp, and the genie's like, you can have 3 wishes and no wishing for more wishes. And the guy goes, okay, I wish for more genies.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Oh, that was awesome. Yeah. I don't know. It's funny. I've heard of some sort of contrary Native Americans who are like, no, no, you fucking call me an Indian. And I'm like, okay, if that's what you want.
I think what I'd wish for would be the powers of Q from Star Trek.
Hmm.
Don't really need anything else after that.
Yeah, but imagine having to look like John Delancey.
Well, I wouldn't have to look like him. I mean, I can look like whatever I want.
I know. Yeah. Well, whenever people are saying to me like, oh no, Star Wars is space fantasy, it's got magic, and I'm like, dude, Star Trek, which you insist is hard sci-fi, has
It's not hard sci-fi.
telepaths, empaths, gods, and various other magics. I'm sorry, but
Well, the first pilot had telepathy, and the second pilot, the second pilot also had telepathy.
Yeah. And okay, which one had space elves? Just saying, 20 years? Who? Huh? It wasn't Star Wars. Just saying.
Well, yeah, Star Wars, you had Yoda, which was basically a space gnome.
Excuse me.
They're getting louder.
Godzilla ate baked beans.
Oh, yeah.
So, okay, like a couple of weeks ago, I was at my D&D game, and everyone's setting up. We're not actually playing yet. Everyone's getting their dice out, getting their character sheets out. And, that's when my phone, cranked to full volume, starts to ring. Dun, 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 dun. And I'm like, everyone's looking at me. Now, I have a ringtone that I usually use, but that one is a special ringtone. So I take my phone out. Hi, Mom. With everyone looking at me. I won so much geek cred doing that because,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's such a thing to just give your mom that ringtone. Now, of course, my dad, like I said, raised by hippies. There was a song I remember from my childhood where it's based on Gloria or whatever, but it's hippified. So it's solar power, inexpensive energy, like that. And so that's my dad's ringtone is solar power,
Oh.
Well, anyway. That's actually another thing that I've been trying like hell to deal with, because part of my neurodivergence is not really being able to handle silence. Silence feels really awkward, which is why if you ever hear me go, well, anyway, after a bunch of people haven't spoken, it's because I don't know what the fuck to do.
Yep, I know what you mean. When you say something and there's no response, it's just awkward.
And like, I'll be honest, I think whenever Diana starts speaking in Slavic tongues, that's part of where it comes from, I bet.
Yeah.
Just that need to fill the silence, because, Especially if you're in person, it's like, okay, no one's talking. How long before we can all just turn and walk away?
Yeah.
Awkward silence. Yay.
That is a common thing that, a lot of people can't handle that just when the room goes quiet, it just feels too weird.
Well, it's like, okay, I know me. I could info dump about things for ages. Should I even introduce a topic I care about? Do the people around me have any interest in that topic? What if they don't? What else are they into? Should I bring that up? Should I even just keep my mouth shut and wait for someone else to talk? What the hell's going on here? I don't know what to do.
Yeah. Well, part of my transitioning is I'm learning to be more social now. Because up till now, my main thing had always been to kind of fade off into the corner and hope nobody actually noticed I was there.
I got to start going to more queer events. I mean, there's a lot of them. Burlington is very queer friendly, but I just got to find one and meet people, because right now most of what I got is my D&D group. I need more than that.
Well, I did just find a trans support group here a couple of months ago, so now at least I've got a half dozen people that I can actually, meet in the flesh.
I've
been in the city for 3 years, and they're like the first people I've met in the city.
Well, I went to a Pride event recently. It was just like in this park and stuff, and I wore my shirt that says "Nobody knows I'm a lesbian," and got a lot of compliments on that one. Although I have recently taken steps to make it more goddamn obvious. Since my hair is a problem, not getting an undercut or nothing, I actually decided to get tattoo number 11. Right now, the colors didn't quite come out right, but that's supposed to be the lesbian pride flag. I got to go back. The guy said if the colors aren't right, he'll do it again for free. But yeah, so that will be an indicator. Just a second.
Yeah, I've been wondering if I can get my tattoo redone because the color didn't come out right on it. It was supposed to be purple, but at this point, it's more like a navy blue.
Well, the top bar here was supposed to be like sort of a burnt orange kind of color, and it came out bubblegum pink. What the hell? It looked right in the shop. It just changed when the scab came off.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that was the same with mine. That, it looked right when she was putting it on there, but it's like a couple of days later, it was just wrong.
I'm a little surprised that the white shows up on my skin.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, with the pink, I think that people could mistake that for being the trans flag now.
I have asked around, and they still haven't made blacklight reactive tattoo ink that's not, dangerous. Yet they don't have any non-toxic, but I would love to get this done over again with, so I can walk into a place that has a black light going and just glow like I'm in Tron. How awesome would that be? But until they make some safe and non-toxic blacklight reactive tattoo ink, it's just not going to happen.
Oh, come on. You're not going to inject a little bit of poison for a cool sci-fi effect?
Well, maybe, I don't know. Convince me.
Okay, now I want to know how a platypus does it, and I want to see if I can make my cat glow in the dark like that.
Platypi glow in the dark?
Platypi glow under a black light.
Oh!
Under ultraviolet.
Okay. I was going to say, because, I don't remember bioluminescent platypuses. I was just going to say.
Yeah, under ultraviolet light, they glow a blue-green.
Sort of like scorpions?
Yeah. It's like as though they weren't weird enough already. They just, have to throw something new in there.
Well, imagine if their butts lit up like fireflies. I don't know. That'd be funny. So there's this channel I've been watching on YouTube. What the guy's full name, Orion something, like the constellation. His first name is Orion, and he goes by That Autistic Guy. And his videos are amazing. If you are at all neurodivergent, you will recognize a lot of what he does. And there's this one video of his I saw where he just does this sort of impression of the inner mind of someone who's having a bad autistic day. And I was just like, oh my God, my parents need to watch this because that's what's going on in my head and I can never describe it to them. So here, watch this, and he's a really good, like a great channel. Great channel.
Orion Kelly, That Autistic Guy?
Mm-hmm. That's the one. I highly recommend it if you want to know any goddamn thing about autistic people, because that is also part of it. It's not just for autistic people, it's about autistic people. So he will inform people like, here's what it really is, not what you've been led to believe by the movies and probably the right.
I'm surprised I wasn't already subscribed to him. Huh.
Yeah, I'm surprised I hadn't run across him before either.
Such a great channel, really.
Oh, I am now.
Yep.
There you go.
Same. I just subbed to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, with all the autistic stuff that I've watched, I'm surprised it didn't come up in the suggestions before now.
Oh, I am so creeped out by something. I know this is happening all the time, and I know that it happens. Everyone talks about it, but I was like gonna go meet my parents downtown for something. Gosh, what were we gonna do? Oh, that's right, we were gonna get Asian food. And so I was asking where they were going to be, and they said we'll be by the co-op, which is that like city marketplace I was talking about. And so I was like, all right, I'll meet you there in about 30 minutes. I go down to my car and get in, and the GPS is suggesting the fucking co-op as a destination. And I'm like, oh, this is so creepy. I mean, I don't like that.
That's weird for the car to suggest a destination. Like, why would you be getting in the car if you didn't have in mind where you were going?
Well, all I know, I mean, my car does Bluetooth with my phone, right? So I guess when I was talking on the phone, it heard some keywords and fed that to the Hyundai app or whatever.
Okay, I didn't know it was linked to your phone.
Yeah,
that makes more sense then.
Well, it's funny. Like, I'm not sure I even have actual radio. There is definitely no place to put a CD, and I'm not sure if there were USB outlets. There might be. Oh yes, there definitely are. But I mean, the thing is, if I want to play music, it's music that's on my phone, not on the car.
Yeah. That's one thing I miss with my van. Unfortunately, my old car, the stereo had a USB slot, so I could just put a memory stick in there with all my music.
Yeah, I've been looking at getting a player and little speaker thing I can set on the table so I can listen to music when I fall asleep or something.
Yeah, my Kindle died. I need to get a new one, and my laptop is in the shop. Wow, that was fun to say. And so, I've been having to go to sleep in silence lately. Yeah, but ordinarily, I fall asleep by putting on some stand-up comedy, turning it down enough that I can hear it but can't understand the words, and fall asleep to that.
Yeah, there's a MP3 player or USB thing, and just plug a speaker into it, or I can get this yikes, mini speaker portable music player.
Yep.
Something like that. I was thinking maybe just get so that I can set on my nightstand at night and fall asleep to.
I've got one of those, but it's a USB rechargeable thing, so it only runs about 2 hours, and when the battery runs out, it doesn't just shut off. It starts making this weird clicking noise. So I can't use it to go to sleep to, because when it starts that clicking, it's going to wake me up.
I think this had can't remember how long the thing said.
But the van came with a real top grade stereo for the year it was made. It's got a 6-disc CD changer.
Yeah, okay. This mini speaker I was looking at says it lasts about at least 10 hours.
Oh.
I burned so many mixed CDs back in the day.
Mage, can you share the link for that one?
Sure.
A 10-hour battery, I'd be interested.
I'll give you both of the ones I was looking at. One of them requires another speaker plugged into it, though. There's the mini speaker I was just looking at, and let me see, get the other one here.
Xander, don't stare at me unless you let me know what you want. Silly cat. Come on. Ah, there we go. You want pettings. There we go.
Let's see, how long does this thing have last life for? Yeah, this one says it's 30 hours. And I'll give you that one. But this one, you'd have to get another little... That second one, you need to get a jack for a speaker to work with it. If I remember correctly.
I gotta go outside with my I have this expandable portable solar cell deal that you can use to recharge electronic devices. I should go outside with that when I need to charge my phone. And I'm like, oh crap, I can't go out. I don't have music. I have to put my phone on the charger. I should totally use that thing.
Yeah, that's I tend to forget I've got it, but I've got one of those. It's just basically just a battery for recharging your phone from.
Okay, Xander, you're being so passive-aggressive right now.
Yeah, really? Randall, unfortunately, Diana's just not been doing well, so like I say, this is pretty much her normal. Yeah. Okay. Sammy has decided he's tired of the keyboard on his back.
Yeah, I saw this thing that they were selling where it's a completely fake keyboard that you can put on your desk where you have your real keyboard on your lap so the cat can sit on the fake keyboard.
Yep, I've seen that.
Part of me hopes that's real. Part of me kind of doesn't. I don't know. Does that make sense? There are a lot of times I can't help feeling like we are just this, last gasp of a dying empire where we are so out of ideas. We are remaking all our movies, repackaging all of our food, our groceries. I mean, hell, for a long time there was no watermelon Red Bull, and my gosh, they're putting Lucky Charms marshmallows in the Swiss Miss hot chocolate. I mean, it just seems like they're throwing everything at the wall these days. And I'm not sure that anyone has any original ideas. And if they do, they're not valued. And I'm just like, I don't know.
That third link is a speaker you can use for, I think, the second thing was that needed it.
I just wish people had more original ideas still, or if original ideas were still marketable. I'm sure people have them.
Yeah, well, I think that's a big part of it, is that corporations don't want to risk money on something that isn't already proven.
Mm-hmm.
So they'd rather stick to something that they know was already popular rather than experiment with something new.
Yeah, those corporations need to be slapped.
Yeah, in several ways. They're really fucking up our society in general in multiple ways.
I sort of fell down a rabbit hole this morning of watching gamers complain about games being shitty these days. And a lot of it did come down to the same, I have the same complaints about movies. It's just they're repackaging old stuff, giving it another spin or something. They're not putting out something new that's never been seen before.
Yeah, they're just reskinning old games.
Mm-hmm. I mean, as much as I'm enjoying Starfield, even I have to admit that it is Fallout reskinned, basically.
Yep.
And don't get me wrong, the art style is actually very pretty. It really is. There's times where it looks like that sort of sleek, slick, uber, like sci-fi looking stuff. But then there's times where it just looks like, yeah, okay, this is what NASA would build 200 years from now,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
They just don't want to, pay for somebody to write new code and debug it.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. Oh, I guess it's up to us. We've got to produce original stuff and just, fuck them, self-publish.
Well, I mean, like I've been saying, I've been wanting to make a game for a good long time. And I've been thinking about it, and it might be a good idea to do something much simpler than the idea I really want to do, because there are so many things in that idea I want to do that I don't really know how to do. So it might be a good idea to not dive in face first and just sort of get my feet wet on something simpler. And so I was thinking, well, why not a platformer?
Yeah, well, when I wrote my second novel, I was at the same time developing a role-playing system in that universe.
Yeah.
Something that was, simpler than D&D, but a bit more detailed than Tunnels and Trolls.
Well, that's one of the things I want to do with that game I keep talking about, is I want to take similar games like ideas and themes and stuff, but get rid of the damn micromanagement and try to focus more on what you're doing as an empire. But I like the idea of being able to form closer relationships to the leaders of other nations to make it look like Babylon 5, for example, or, as much as people get on Star Wars for the Galactic Council scenes in the prequels, I thought they were kind of nifty. Something like that, where you actually meet with the leaders of these other empires and chat with them and try to keep a log of the history of what's happened to these empires, then refer back to them, and say to the player, like, oh, we've had troubles in the past, but we're great friends now, or oh, you betrayed us so recently, we can't trust you now, kind of thing, and really give it a sense of story, but because no other game does that. Usually the other empires are like a spreadsheet with an avatar, it's just, so I'd love to have more focus on that and less on micromanaging your empire. Like, keep the actual game mechanics very simple. So I don't know, it's something I'd love to do, but it is very complicated. A platformer would almost certainly be easier. Or something top down, like Enter the Gungeon.
Yeah, I don't have any reference for that.
It's a lot like, well, imagine if the original Diablo was crossed with an old 8-bit game or 16-bit game. Like an old console game or cabinet arcade game. Anyway, it's like the original Legend of Zelda, when you go underground or whatever, or and you're like looking at these dungeons that you're walking through, and you're looking at Link from overhead, kind of deal. It's like that, but better graphics. So, something like that might be simpler, easier to make, and get my feet wet to make the game I really want to make. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, going over my birthday Christmas list here on Amazon.
Oh, by the way, Stalker Boy is back. I have to go back to
Oh,
the
shit.
police and yeah, I know. Allegedly, because I got an email from Amazon, he sent me something, but it never seemed to actually make it to my door or mailbox. So I don't know what it was. I don't care. I'm not even going to contact Amazon about it. You know, it's like I wish he would just go away. I don't want
Yeah.
him sending me things.
Mm.
Well, yeah, not that was from him, but you know, do you have a problem with maybe somebody took the package off of your front step?
Well, I don't have a front step so much. The building has a lobby, and you know, then apartment doors. Most people are pretty good about it. I mean, I don't know anyone who's complained about something being stolen. So, yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I
here
say
we got
lobby.
cameras
It's more
all
like
over
an
the
entrance,
place.
but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
I know
foyer.
they take a picture of the thing when they drop it off. Are you sure they dropped it off at the right spot?
Then I didn't get one of those.
Mm.
Actually, I don't think you get them in Vermont. Or if you do, you only get them when it's like FedEx or UPS because they actually come to your door where the USPS only drops it by the mailboxes.
Yeah,
But either way, with definitely with USPS, you do not get like usually the only consistent way I would get a photo was from the actual Amazon vans, and I only had access to those in Seattle and San Diego. So.
yeah, I've had the stuff dropped off on my doorstep that actually it went to somebody. It was actually supposed to go to somebody 3 houses down and on the other side of the street. And then I had a package of mine get delivered to my neighbor's house. I just happened to see him deliver it at the time. I was up on my roof cleaning it off, and I happened to see him. Like, okay, I was expecting a package around this time, and there's the Amazon guy delivering a package that looks about the size of what I'd be getting. I better go check. Sure enough,
Well, with Amazon boxes, you never know. You could have a box the size of a person that they used to send you a chapstick.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's happened so many times. I get something about the size of this, and it's in this big box with a bunch of those little air thingies, you
Yep.
know, and I'm like, that was so unnecessary.
Well, I checked my the Amazon website for the little picture they taken. And sure enough, it was the thing he delivered to my neighbor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I once had something that got delivered like 3 blocks down. And I was like, I got the delivery notification. I go out and I'm looking for it. This was in San Diego. It was different than here. I go out looking for it and don't see it just as the UPS guy pulls up. And I'm like, dude, it says you delivered something to me and you totally didn't. And he's like, oh, I know where it is. Yeah. So yeah. But I had that picture to show him because he took
Yeah.
the picture and I was like, that doesn't look like my front stoop, does it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I in fact the stuff being delivered to my doorstep that belonged 3 houses down, and the neighbor, my stuff being delivered to my neighbors happened within a week of each other. So I'm wondering if it was the same guy delivering it.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Like, okay, with all of the mass shootings we're seeing these days, and it's all like schools and stuff, makes me wonder, like, did they just improve conditions at the post office, or was that just trendy?
Probably
Because I
just
mean,
trendy.
we don't really say going postal anymore. We used to. You remember that?
Yep.
What, should we change it to going to school?
Oof, that just doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like I remember when everyone was talking about the post office, and now nothing.
Yeah, there were a string of them, people shooting up post offices, but
Usually
what
the
was that,
postal
like
workers
back in the early
themselves.
2000s?
Yeah. I actually like again fell down a rabbit hole. I was watching all this legal stuff which led to like interrogations of suspects. And then like I got down this weird rabbit. Oh god, I lost my train of thought here. What were you just talking about, Purple?
About people shooting up post offices?
Oh yeah. The about the kids on milk cartons, the missing kids on milk cartons,
Oh,
like how that got started and when and why it went away and all of that stuff. And it was interesting, but I'm just like, wow, the link from what I started out watching to here is kind of weird.
yep.
You know.
So why did they stop doing that on the milk cartons?
Oh, mostly because of digital stuff. Or no, there was something that was called like Code Amber or something.
Yeah,
It was like they could put out these
yeah, the
alerts.
Amber Alerts.
The Amber Alerts, yeah.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
killed that. So I actually had to turn that off on my phone because the alarm notifying me of a missing child would make me just jump right the hell out of my skin. Oh my god, it was like it was loud enough to make you think the building was on fire.
Usually when I get those alerts, or it's usually for something like a county or two over from me.
Yeah, well, that's why I shut it
Mm.
off on mine because I kept getting them from Minneapolis, and that's like an hour and a half drive from here.
Yeah, it's like
Where-
a 3 hour drive from from the alert I'm getting.
Where's the full-sized Appalus anyway?
I don't know.
Oh well.
The same place that they have the larger pops. It's
Well,
not in Minnesota.
I'm just saying is like, the existence of Minneapolis and implies the existence of fun-sized Appalus as well as small, medium, and large Appalus.
Oh, bye, Greg.
Later. Let's see. The Amber Alert named after Amber Hagerman, a 9-year-old girl abducted while riding her bike in Arlington, Texas.
I'll be honest, I thought it was a color like Red Alert.
Yeah, it's named after a little girl who got abducted.
Huh.
Yeah.
So it doesn't indicate severity. Okay, I was way off.
Well, a lot of people also thought that it referred to, the highway signs that they changed the messages because those are usually amber lights.
It's weird, like I usually go outside with music on because, well, the outside world is pretty damn boring. But and of course, neurodivergent, so I need constant stimulus. But whatever, the point is that one time I absolutely had to go out when like my headphones or my phone or something needed to be recharged. So I was like, fine. And as I'm walking, a helicopter goes overhead. And I can hear it broadcasting this message. It's like, be on the alert for a suspect dressed like this tall, in that kind of car. That's what I was like, wow, they do that from helicopters now. All right.
Yep.
That was interesting.
4 days. 4 days after her abduction, near midnight, a man walking his dog discovered Amber's naked body in a creek behind an apartment complex, with severe lacerations, wounds to her neck. So she got deaded.
Yeah.
Well, one thing that was kind of interesting that they talked about on that little documentary thing was about a girl who didn't even know she'd been abducted. Like she was being raised by her abductor
yeah.
from like a really young age. And then she sees her own face on a milk carton. And she's like, that's weird. Right?
I remember that story.
Yeah, that was kind of screwy.
That would be weird. Yeah, her murder still remains unsolved, to this day.
Unfortunately, a lot of cases like that, but they don't really find enough evidence to link it to a person. Oh, bag.
Oh, hello, Xander. How you doing, buddy? Oh.
Cute cat.
He's a good kitty.
Not as good as my kitty.
Gooder.
Mine doesn't nag me about when to feed him.
Oh, Xander doesn't nag me about feeding, just about snacks. Columbia is the one who nags me about feedings.
I felt horrible one day last week. I got up and Sammy's dish was actually completely empty. And it's like, he didn't even bother to wake me up. And it's like, have you been without food all night or what?
I actually had to put Molly in the tub and rinse her off this past week since when I had her up by my friends. She decided to start digging a big hole in the yard and got herself covered in dirt. This is the one time she finally wasn't in licking and sucking on her feet. So I'm wondering if maybe if I get some diatomaceous earth and just rub it on her paws, she'll stop doing that.
It'd be worth a try.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Friday I took the kitties to the groomer, so Petunia got shaved again, and Sammy got his claws trimmed.
That didn't sound good.
That sounded like barfing.
Yeah, that sounded like retching.
Yeah. Ew.
Oh.
Oh my.
Yeah, and unfortunately nothing any of us can do from here.
Well, I do have access to some orbital death ray lasers, but
I didn't realize you were Jewish.
Actually, neither did I until I did 23andMe. Like 33%, which is the highest percentage of anything, Ashkenazi. Right?
Really?
Now, I don't know if I can trust 23andMe because the adoption agency said a very different set of races. But if 23andMe is to be believed, I'm everything except East Asian.
Well, I saw them do some tests with 23andMe and with, I can't remember the name of the other one. But, like they sent in the DNA of like twins and triplets and they got back different results.
Mm-hmm. Now, the adoption agency claims that I'm, let's see, what was it? Italian, Austrian, Cherokee, French, and Black, right? And I'm sitting there going, that's a lot. But then 23andMe said other things, and I don't know who to trust. But Vermont has apparently decided to open up all of their adoption and birth records. So if I really want to now, I can absolutely track down bio parents.
Yeah.
Well, the good news with Molly is she was very good about getting her bath. She stayed right in the tub, and even when I had to leave and go into the other room to get something, I forgot. She stayed right there until I told her she could get out. Unfortunately, the warm water caused her to pee on the floor. But that wasn't her fault, really.
Diana, are you still with us? I'm not sure that was an answer.
Isn't this what Meganauts was supposed to be for?
Hmm?
Isn't this what Meganauts was supposed to be for over there? Her moving there?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I mean, where is everybody right now?
Yeah, I don't know. And unfortunately, it seems that, she has been not really getting a lot of help there. It hasn't really worked out the way that that we had expected. Because she was saying that she's, not really getting any help with setting up the space that she was supposed to be using. That there's a lot of other stuff stored there, and so she can't unpack her stuff.
Are you lying down?
Oh, there's somebody.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's good that there's somebody there.
Well, if you can hear us, go check on her for us.
Yeah, she's talking to him.
Now my brain is composing jokes I shouldn't say. I hate my brain. My brain hates me.
I know what you mean, although for me, most of them are usually safe because I'm usually coming up with jokes that, like, there's only maybe 3 people in the world that would ever get the reference.
Well, I have only a few friends with whom I can say absolutely goddamn anything. Like I have some friends who can listen to how morbid my sense of humor can get, how off color it can get, and love me more for it. There aren't a lot of those. Most people are like, "Oh my God, what's wrong with you?" Right? So,
Yeah, with me and my nice little circle of friends, and saying "fuck you" is a friendly greeting.
Well, yeah, I had to get used to the Australians calling me cunt, that it didn't mean anything.
well, yeah, I mean, I've said it before. I'll say it again. The first time I met Stool, and he was like totally insulting me. For half second, I was about to get offended, and then I was like, "Wait a minute."
Yep.
Wait a minute. For some reason, I got the vibe that he just wasn't that guy. But of course, he drops a lot of C-bombs, and I'm okay with it because I watch a lot of British comedy. But
Yeah, Stool, you still with us? He was in the side chat a while ago.
Well, if Diana comes back, maybe she should shut this thing down so she can rest.
Yeah.
perhaps now, where my brain, I'll just say it, where my brain went was as when she's done with a retching sound, I was going to go splorch. Oh, hey, look, a spleen. But I don't think that's insensitive.
Yep.
Plus, we have Beck's stuff going on in about an hour and 20 minutes.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, I was forgetting that Becca's starting much earlier while it's still daylight.
yeah.
Well, there's somebody there talking to her, Randall. So,
We definitely heard a voice.
yeah.
Well, that might have been your spleen coming out.
That sounded explosive.
Yeah, it is not good when internal organs become external. Often the cables aren't long enough and they get unplugged.
It's funny, I was on Neil's show last night, and everyone kept bringing up that incident from when he was a bouncer when he popped someone's eye out. You don't know that one?
No, I guess I haven't heard that one.
Yeah, somehow he managed to, like, he was, some guy got aggro, and the guy's eye came out.
Damn.
That's gross.
I didn't think there was that much slack to the optic nerve.
I have heard of people, having accidents where their eye popped out and they were able to put it back in.
That happened to my uncle once.
Yeah, so apparently there is some stretch or some slack to the nerve that can come out an inch or so.
But I mean, I can't even imagine what that looks like with one camera that way and one that way. I would get sick.
Yeah, probably.
Probably look a bit like when you have lazy eye.
Which, interestingly enough, I do. But my parents, from a very young age, trained me to put my eyes back together at will. So, if I zone out, one eye will just. But if I'm paying attention, that they're forward because I know which muscle to flex. Essentially the same muscle. Like if you cross your eyes, basically the same thing. I just don't go that far.
Yeah, a friend who had lazy eye was telling me when he would get angry, the one lazy eye would laser focus in.
Yeah. How did we get on lazy eye?
Talking about eyes popping out.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that's right. I was wondering what it would look like. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I guess technically I do kind of know what that's like because I know what it's like when one eye's looking off to the side, but I don't know what it's like when one's looking straight down while the other one's going that way. That just
well, especially if the one is just dangling by the nerve, so you can't even keep it still, it's kind of swaying back and forth.
And you
Yowza, I can't
can't exactly close your eye in that case either. So you're going to see
Oh,
what's going on.
imagine trying and it bumps up against that nerve. Oh my god.
Oh.
Okay,
Oh
Randall,
my
we'll
God.
see you later.
Oh, that is such an ugly thought.
Yeah, well, just the whole notion. Let's get a new subject, because the whole notion of it is just keeps grossing me out. Just imagining what it looks like dangling.
Well, the same uncle had the brilliant idea of climbing up onto a fence to cut a limb off of a tree.
Okay.
And you can imagine how that went. He fell backwards into the neighbor's yard.
Well, that falls in the category of what I've said, that my obituary is going to say it seemed like a good idea at the time.
Yeah, me and my friend were just kind of standing back watching the whole thing, and like, yeah, we kind of saw that happening.
I have a feeling that, I mean, I intend to live forever or die trying, but I have a feeling that if I die, most of the people who knew me will ask if I took anyone with me.
Yeah, it was just kind of, yeah, this is a really dumb idea for him to do. Goes back, like, yeah, saw that happening. You okay? Like,
How many people's gravestone just says, "Hold my beer"?
Basically.
Well, I forget if I mentioned it a while ago, like certainly not on this show. I found out why Florida Man got such a rap, right?
Yeah, it's because we have open records.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just because all the crazy shit's out there to be found where it's not in most states.
Yeah, most states it's not a public record, so you don't know about all of it.
Yeah. So, I mean, as screwy as Florida is, it's not as screwy as we think.
I don't know about that.
Okay, it's as screwy as we think. It's not as exclusive as we think.
Okay.
Usually I can phrase something accurately. Although it's funny, like when I'm in my own head and I'm like thinking thoughts, sometimes I'll get a concept for which there seem to be no words, or at least not in English. And I'm like, usually I have my inner voice going. And when I hit one of those roadblocks, I have to eventually just say to myself, damn it, Kate, you know what you mean. You're not speaking to someone else. Just move on, you know? But it's weird how much time I spend trying to phrase something when I don't have to. I know what I mean. Oh.
So, Mage, do you think Florida should make "Hold My Beer" their state motto?
Yeah, I think in Florida and Texas are in a race to the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they kind of already are, aren't they? I mean, if we assume South is the bottom anyway. There was something, oh gosh, what was it? It was this map of the United States, and it said like the top 10 state, or the top some percent of states are in blue, and no one could figure out what the hell they were tops in until someone pointed out they're all north, dumbass. They're all at the the northern border with Canada, and people are like, oh, like so many people didn't get it.
I saw this one map that was most popular game character per state, and I think it was Virginia. Just had this thing that said censored.
Well, now I'm curious what Vermont's was.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, is like a lot of those maps are either based on nothing or they're parody, where it's like, this is what we think it would be based on our impression of the state or whatever,
Yeah,
you know.
I don't know what
I'd love to
based
know
on.
if they actually polled people in each state to find out their favorite video game character. That would be really cool if they did that for real.
Yeah, that would be neat.
It was probably a thing based on internet searches.
Maybe. That's possible. They did the little Google Trends thing.
Well, I could probably find it. I mean, let's see. By the way, does my camera still freeze when I open a new tab?
No, I'm not seeing it.
I'm not seeing any freezing yet.
All right, let's see what we got here. Who is the most popular video game character in your state? There we go. All right. Where's the list? And Vermont. Bowser? Really? Bowser? Ugh. Okay, Washington is Mario. Where's the California Sephiroth? Really? Okay. Huh. I want to know how they found this out.
What's it
They
say
seem
for
to have
Virginia?
Virginia is Lara Croft.
Oh, maybe that's the reason why it was censored.
Let's see.
What's it say for Minnesota?
Minnesota. Nathan Drake. I don't know who that is. Let's see. Florida. Who is Teemo? Teemo?
I have no idea.
Yeah. I mean, I recognize most of these. Like, I mean, Alucard, Master Chief, let's see, Sonic, Lara Croft, Bowser. You know, actually, these repeat a lot. There are so many Sonics and Marios in here. And Lara Crofts for that.
was
And,
that
oh
one
my
from
gosh, so
Minnesota,
many
did you say?
Alucards.
What did you say? David Drake?
Nathan.
Nathan Drake.
Yeah, I think David Drake is someone else entirely. I don't know. Anyway, that was mildly interesting.
Okay. Well, the first Nathan Drake I come up with is a voice actor, but okay, then there was a game for PlayStation, Uncharted, the Nathan Drake collection.
Maybe that's it. Is that a ship
That must be.
game, like an old sailing ship game? Or do you not know? Okay. What was it called again?
Well, Uncharted, the Nathan Drake collection. Apparently, it's a set of 4 games.
Well, it sure doesn't look like a pirate game. Actually, it kind of reminds me of Far Cry from what I'm seeing in these pictures. Oh, it looks like you're on a desert island or something. Like I guess because the island is uncharted and you have to find your way around it, I assume. I don't know. I'm not reading a description. I'm just looking.
Yeah, I can't find a description of the story.
One of these days I should actually play Far Cry 5. I've had it for like a year or two. I never did play it. I played 3. Not sure I even saw 4 in the Steam store. Oh well. I should probably, make more progress in Starfield first. I have way too many unfinished and even unplayed games. Man, I bought a lot of games on a whim and then just never installed them. And I actually went through like a couple of months ago and installed a couple of them, and I'm like, well, I'm not glad I waited. This is terrible.
Yeah, one of those.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like for Kindle, Amazon will often offer completely free books or books for like 99 cents, and I still don't feel like I got my money's worth.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm reading this and I'm going, you wrote this in 9th grade, didn't you? You know.
I've been thinking about signing up for Audible so I can get some of the audiobooks.
Yeah, I've thought of signing up for audio too.
Every now and then, though, you find a book that's freaking amazing. I don't know how I ended up with this completely free set of like 7 or 9 books or something, and it was such a great story, and I was like, this is a rare gem in the El Cheapo cabinet at Amazon. It was kind of cool. It's called like Freedom's Fire, I think. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I actually, with my dyslexia, reading gets to be a bit of a chore, so I don't really read fiction much. That's why I was thinking I should go for the Audible, because I did like listening to them while I was working on things.
Yeah, I got the same problem. I love reading, but it takes me a long time to get through a book.
Yeah. Well, audiobooks were especially nice when I had long drives.
I find audiobooks go too slowly. And also I'm always worried that if I'm gonna like have some audiobook of sci-fi or fantasy and they get all of the place names wrong, all of the made up names wrong, the characters and everything. You know, like I've had disputes with people about how to pronounce Belgarath and Vorpatril in the Vorkosigan series, right? And then I was totally vindicated. You know, I found a source from the actual author explaining it, and then there have been times when I've encountered other people saying it in like a professional context. You know, it's like how many times have people mispronounced Alderaan as Alderaan? You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. And officially it's AT-AT, not AT-AT. Okay, that one's actually official. I can prove it with evidence. But I mean, the point is, like, what if I'm listening to an audiobook set in a world I already like? You know, maybe I'm hearing something audibly that I've read 1,000 times and they start pronouncing everything incorrectly. I couldn't take it. I'd be like, no, can I return this? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. It wouldn't bother me that much.
Mm.
You know, I would just accept that it's, you know, somebody with a different dialect.
It would make me twitch every time I heard it. I'd be like, no, no. I don't know. I couldn't help it. Yeah. My friend pronounced it Belgarath for ages. And I'm like, dude, his name was Gareth before he was recruited by the god Alder and he gave him the Bel prefix. It's clearly Belgarath. Besides, all of his friends are Belden, Beltira, Belkira, etc. So it's like, seriously, there's. And then I found a wiki that said, yeah, Kate's totally right, but whatever.
Oh, you know, you got Ensign Sean Bean and his red shirt, who's 2 weeks away from retirement. He's gonna go take the USS Titanic into Alderaan and to go skydiving with his good friend in Wade. What could possibly go wrong?
See, they really got to mention Michelle Rodriguez in there because she gets killed almost as much as Sean Bean.
Mm.
I mean, it's weird. I'm trying to think of a movie where either one of them doesn't die. I mean, granted, in the Dungeons and Dragons movie, she doesn't completely die, but she does die.
Wait, doesn't completely die?
She gets brought back to life with magic, but she did die, and then they raised her.
It still counts.
Shows what you know. She's only mostly dead.
Yeah, no, I mean, I can name movies where she lives, but I can't think of one where Sean Bean doesn't get killed.
I do know of one. I'm trying to remember the name of it, though.
He certainly dies in Patriot Games. He dies in Lord of the Rings.
It wasn't a very good movie. Jupiter Ascending, that was it.
You know, I wanted to like that movie a lot more than I did. I couldn't help feeling like there was so much backstory that we just didn't get to hear that it would have made a much better TV show than a movie. You know, so we had time to explore the universe because it wasn't really a bad story. It was just badly told. They didn't have enough time.
I think it was CinemaSins like saying, "Gee, they couldn't even kill Sean Bean right."
I don't know. My taste is offbeat anyway. Maybe I liked it where everyone else loathed it. Goodness knows there's movies that everyone else loves that I can't stand. Yes, I'm looking at you, Tim Burton's Batman. Ugh. But, you know. Don't know why people love Michael Keaton as Batman so much. I thought he was terrible. I think the best Bruce Wayne by far was Clooney. George Clooney really looked the part of Bruce Wayne.
I don't know.
I've never been big on Batman to begin with, so I don't really care about any of the movies.
I mean, I'm not big on Batman either, but when I don't enjoy a movie, I don't enjoy a movie. And when I do, I do. And so judging based on Shut up, phone. Based on what I have seen, I have opinions. That's all.
Yeah, I think I've seen most of them, but I just, didn't pay enough attention to them.
Oh.
Wow. I just got this message all in lowercase letters. Hey, I'm, and the apostrophe is actually a comma. Hi, I'm from Facebook Marketplace, ... Just give this number.
Okay.
I have a feeling this might be a scam.
Sounds
Yeah.
like it.
Help.
What can we do, Diana?
Shoot me. Please.
You're out of range.
I'll get a camera.
To be fair, the only thing I can shoot you with shoots Nerf balls.
Or I want to be a corpse.
Walking?
I was thinking Marine.
Okay.
Marine Corps.
Oh. Yeah, I was picturing more like, Walking Dead kind of walking corpse thing, but okay.
Yep. Yeah, we can go with the zombie.
Just not the Return of the Living Dead zombies. They feel everything.
Okay, if you say so.
Yeah, as a part of the lore, when they capture one of the zombies to interrogate them why they're eating people's, not people, just brains. And they're like, why? Because it stops the pain. What pain? The pain of being dead.
Mm-hmm.
I can feel my body rotting.
That does sound unpleasant. So, do you suppose all those animated skeletons that people fight with swords and stuff, do you think they used to be zombies and now they're just the end result of a lot of decomposition?
So the question on that is I always imagine that the skeletons require more necromantic magic to animate than a zombie.
Yeah, I guess the stories usually, have them just being dead and decomposing and just being skeletons until somebody casts a spell on the skeleton.
Yeah, because usually the skeletons seem to have more intelligence than the zombie.
So at D&D night a while ago, I'm playing a rogue. I have no magic abilities whatsoever. And we're fighting this monster, whatever the hell it was. And they're like, okay, Kate, it's your turn. What do you do? And I say, okay, I cast crossbow bolt at him. And everyone stopped for a second. They're like, oh, right. Cat, okay, funny. And I'm like, I thought that was funnier than that. But now I can never say it again with that group. Because that's the kind of thing that's only funny once, if it's ever funny. Like if I say it every time, it'll just wear out the welcome. So, it's a shame. I thought that was more clever.
Well,
although there was that time I gave a Gorgon a short sword colonoscopy. That was funny.
Well, the other tactic is that you make sure you use it every time you're with that group, and sooner or later it becomes a running joke.
Either that or they tell you to shut up. Believe me, I've seen both happen.
Or find varying ways of saying it.
I mean, how often do we give Tornado shit about punching the cobra,
Yeah. Well, you'll know you've used it too much whenever your gaming session starts with a wizard casting a mute spell on you.
Yeah. I don't know. I like the idea of casting stone skin on someone and then casting rock to mud.
So basically, you're making them a sludge puddle.
Basically, yeah. I don't know. There are some weird spell combos that you can put together to probably produce some very interesting effects that were not intended.
Yep. Oh, I love that kind of stuff. You know, that kind of creativity in games.
Yeah. I don't know. Like just weird rules exploits. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I'll always remember when I was running Tunnels and Trolls, how they broke the whole game.
Oh.
Okay, hold on. I decided, I mean, because it's kind of dark where we play, and like my low light vision isn't great and hasn't been ever since LASIK, right? So I decided I wanted to make it easier to see what I roll when I roll the dice, right? So I got these that light up.
No,
Oh,
light up dice. Cool.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's hard to see on camera there, but it's much easier to see them when I roll.
Yeah, I can see how that would be easier to see if you're in dim light.
yep.
So yeah, that was pretty cool. I was happy with that purchase.
Neat.
The only thing that's bad about it is it's kind of difficult to get some of the dice into this thing. This is the charger as well as a case. So like getting them to get in there, I'm like, really? Is this supposed to? How do you,
Yeah,
and
you gotta
eventually?
Tetris something though to get the lid closed.
Yeah. Oh well, what you gonna do, huh? Anyway, I'll just put it back on the counter.
Now, see, I've always got good night vision, so I would just continue to roll my normal dice and figure that nobody else could see them, so I can lie when I miss a roll.
Hmm. Actually, I have to admit, one thing that really bugs me about The Big Bang Theory is how they screw up how D&D works, like over and over and over. Oh well. Like people roll their own stealth rolls, damn it. People roll their own check for trap rolls. The DM doesn't do that. Ah well. Yeah, it's like it's. I mean, I know that's being a bit of a stickler, but it bothers
Yeah.
me that TV shows have never bothered to check whether or not what they're saying is at all accurate when it comes to things like that. When it comes to pop culture, they don't just stop and go, "Is that really how the game is played?" Which
Yeah.
actually annoys me further because they had a science, like a physics consultant, to make sure that like all of the equations on all of the boards were accurate, that the terminology they were using was accurate. Although once there was one of those boards that had a mistake on it, and the internet went nuts about it, and they actually came out and apologized, saying, "Whoops, our bad." They, it's like, so with all of that, they couldn't get D&D right. For that matter, they couldn't get the pronunciation of Klingon right until like the 9th season.
Really?
Really? Yeah. Oh, watch Sheldon do it during Klingon Boggle. He cannot get it right. He's doing like all these weird tongue trills and this like weird sing-songy way of saying it. And I'm just like, that is not how Klingon is spoken. But then they get to this one episode where Sheldon and Leonard can't tell what the hell's going on with Penny and Amy. And so Leonard and Sheldon start talking Klingon to each other. To talk privately. And so Amy and Penny start talking in this other thing that they do where apparently it came from some 70s or TV show or something where they're like, what would our yabu tawa kidding about? Like that sort of thing. And it's weird how I could understand it. But I mean, they got Klingon right in that episode. But for several other earlier episodes, they just did not get it right at all. And I was like, because I had been trying to learn Klingon, it annoyed me that they didn't even bother to do their homework.
Yeah, you would think of all things they could have found a nerd.
Yeah. Or at least someone who'd seen the movies and know what it sounds like. Or the shows, but I mean, it was developed for the movies first.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I still remember some of the phrases, but I always have a problem with those languages where you have to gargle phlegm to make the sounds.
Yeah.
Which is funny growing up with a Jewish mother.
Yep. Well, I grew up hearing Finnish. I never really learned it. But in Finnish, they actually have an accent mark that tells you where to inhale in the middle of the word because they know nobody could say it in one breath.
That's awesome. I like that. I know very, very, very little Finnish. There's like this one song about getting drunk that I really enjoy that has a metal cover I enjoy even more. And what little Finnish I know comes from that song.
Well,
That's
my great grandmother, when she got into her 90s, forgot how to speak English. So my mother and my aunts could only talk to her in Finnish.
I bet when she was younger, they had to talk to her in Startish. Sorry. I'll just be over here. Oh, well. Yeah. Don't for a moment think I don't think that every time someone says Finnish, because I do. Every time. Can't help it. Totally involuntary.
Yeah, usually when I'm talking about Finnish, I start going into the fish puns.
Fin-ish.
Oh my, well, okay, no, I've told you guys about it before, the ending of the Meg where they put up Finn. I'm like, oh, you bastards, I wish I'd thought of that. Anyway, I'm told the sequel is terrible. That sucks. You know, it's funny, like I saw one of those memes recently where it's like action heroes in the 80s and 70s, action heroes today, you know, where it's like, here's the big buff dudes and here's the sort of wimpy guys, you know, and they're like, whatever happened? I'm sitting there going, well, you kind of forgot about The Rock and Jason Momoa and what the hell's that other guy's name that I'm blanking on? Jason Statham. And Jesus, Vin Diesel still doing anything? Yeah, I'm like, your buff guys are still around doing action movies. The hell's wrong with you? Hell, Arnold Schwarzenegger has a new TV show, well, Netflix show called Fubar, which is not as funny as it looks, but it is still enjoyable. You know, so it's like, guys, your action heroes, your masculine, manly man dudes are still around. Shut up.
Yeah, well, they just want to make the memes. They want to complain about things, and it's like, yeah.
I don't know. It's weird how people seem to have those blinders on to something that not only shows that they're wrong, but shows that they're getting their own way. It's like, take yes for an answer, dude. Oh, well.
Yeah, those self-debunking idiots are the best kind.
Well, I mean, the weird thing is that they weren't even like really debunked. They were, I mean, they were, but at the same time, they were being told the thing that you're bitching about is not a problem. It's right there, exactly what you're asking for, right there. You know, I mean, like that's not so much debunking as pointing them towards the good stuff. You know. Oh well. I mean, in case it's not obvious, people are stupid.
Yeah.
Columbia is giving me a look. It is almost time for their afternoon feeding. Like 20 minutes. But they always seem to know what time it is that I'm supposed to feed them because they always seem to start like making a scene about a half hour before. Yeah, cats have a better internal clock than I ever thought.
Oh, Petunia bitches at me if I'm late getting up there. You know, she's got food, she's got water. It's nothing like that. She just bitches at me because I'm late getting her treats.
You know, I saw something about animals, specifically dogs in this case, but it counted for cats too, and probably other animals. That answered a question I've been wondering for ages is, do animals experience time the same way we do? And the answer is no. Like the world goes at a well, I guess a lower frame rate for them because it goes slower. Like they showed, like they did some electrode-y thing with brains and looked at it and realized that dogs move like the world moves in slow motion for dogs because they're experiencing it that quickly. at a different frame rate. And that's probably why many animals are such good hunters, is they have a lot more time to think and plan their moves. And I thought that was really interesting, because I got to wondering, how is it that bugs always seem to be able to evade your clapping hands? The world's just going at a different speed for them, and they see it coming.
Yeah, everything. And then similar thing with a fly. I mean, when I catch a fly, you actually move really slowly, and they won't see it because the slow motion movement is too slow for their visuals to pick up.
Yep. Yeah, frame rate is exactly the right term. It's how fast their brain refreshes what they're seeing.
And to kind of give you an idea, like a parrot's visual frame rate, a basic HD video would look like an old time video when we first got motion pictures. That's kind of how it would look like to them.
Where it would have that black shaky line going, they showed that with dogs too, and they were saying that there are monitors that can refresh at the right rate for your animals, and it opens up a whole world of entertainment for them. Yeah,
I didn't know that they made monitors that would operate fast enough for that.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
that's what they do.
So that was pretty cool. What I gotta get is a mirror for the floor, because apparently cats love mirrors. I just don't have one. Apparently they don't have enough, like they can't recognize their own selves in mirrors. Some can, but most can't recognize themselves in mirrors, and so they look at their own reflection the way they would look at another cat.
Wonder how Molly would react to that.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't have any experience with, because I've always avoided putting mirrors up until now.
So the thing about that is usually animals like cats and dogs go by scent more than visual. So seeing the animal and not being able to smell it might wig them out.
Well, the things I was looking up said that they like it, but I don't know. Now, I have to ask, though, if you weren't putting up mirrors, how do you tell who's a vampire?
I just assume everyone is and spike them when they come through the door.
Oh, see, okay. You know why there's no vampires in Italy? Because of all that garlic. Huh? Yep. So, just have guests over for dinner and feed them some Italian food and see what happens.
I guess that's why I've never had any vampires around. Sloth Girl is half Italian and insists there is never enough garlic in anything.
I have actually had enough garlic to the point where it actually hurt to eat it. But it didn't hurt to taste it. It just was physically like when you eat a pepper. You know what I mean? Yeah.
No, that was a big part of my dysphoria. I didn't realize it until I was in therapy for it. But yeah, I've never put up a mirror anywhere I lived. And there's always the one over the bathroom sink, but I've made a habit of disabling the light over it.
I don't know.
So for most of my life, I have avoided looking at myself.
Well.
But like I say, that was basically my strategy when I was out in public too, was just hoping that nobody would look at me.
Well, I didn't mind being looked at. I just didn't want to be interacted with by strangers.
Yeah. Well, it's changed. I actually did put up a full-length mirror on my bathroom door, so I can actually check my outfits before I go out now.
I wonder if Andre the Giant was ever insulted by the concept of full-length mirrors.
Yeah.
I remember hearing this story during the making of The Princess Bride, where he walked up behind, what the hell was her face? I can't remember, and just put his hand on top of her head, and it covered her entire head. And it was like, wow, yeah, it was crazy. That guy was big.
Yep.
Robin Wright, that's her name. Gah.
What was the name?
Robin Wright.
Okay.
Pretty sure that's her name.
I'm lousy with actors and celebrities, so
Well,
I'll take
over the
your word
years, I
for it.
worked in 4 video stores, and before my memory issues, thanks to that aneurysm that kerploded and caused a stroke, I used to be like absolutely black belt master level at connecting people to Kevin Bacon. In less than 6 steps, I might add. 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, my butt. But these days, with my memory being what it is, I don't have trivia as less access. Even the stuff I used to like obsess about, some of that info is just plain gone. It sucks.
Yeah, I always make a lot of random trivia links that people usually can't follow.
Well, I have this brain teaser that I don't think anybody can ever get just because there's too many layers to it. Or too many disparate things. And I've tried it out on people and no one's even come close. And I'm like, maybe it only makes sense to me because I thunked it up, but it's too obscure for anyone to solve it cold. I don't know.
Well, how long a thing is it? You give it to us now?
Sure, why not? Okay. If you use an eating implement to rock a tower back or to rock a tall building back and forth, why are you all wet?
I'm kind of stuck on the rocket tower part. I can't come up with a word for that.
Well, with the eating utensil, in the world of spoonerisms, if you shake a tower, you must also take a shower.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, see, I think it's too obscure. I think I only get it because I made it up.
Yeah, I wind up making up a lot of spoonerisms, and yeah, they never make sense to anyone else. But I'm
Yeah.
doing it constantly when I'm just talking to myself.
Yeah.
I sometimes wonder how my brain would have been different if I didn't have strokes. But I don't have any frame of reference to compare it with.
Yep.
See, the problem is that I do, since it happened later in life, and so I have something to look at and go, oh man, I missed that. You know? Like, I miss having damn good trivia memory, at least if just for movie and sci-fi trivia. But I used to be like freaking Wikipedia meat style, so I don't know.
Yeah, I don't have any kind of autistic talent like that.
I wish I didn't have autistic hearing. Well, let's put it this way, okay? When you're around somebody who chews badly, and it's like listening to someone walking through mud in hiking boots, and it's all I can hear. And if more
Yeah.
than one person at the table is doing it, oh my God, I have to leave. It's just, you know? So I kind of wish I didn't have autistic hearing.
Yeah, the good hearing can very much be a curse.
Although it has been a source of amusement from time to time, because there was once in high school, I was with a bunch of my friends in the University Mall in South Burlington. And we're at one end of it. It's like kind of this weird sort of bent V shape, but a very shallow bend sort of thing. And we're at one end of it. And all of a sudden, I'm like, you guys hear that? And they're like, what? And I'm like, you don't hear that. And they're like, what? And I say, follow me. And I go all the way to the far end of the mall where there's this one little tiny tinny speaker playing a Roxette song. Things like that. And when I was getting tested for autism, they phrased a question badly. Right. When I was getting my diagnosis, they were like, do you ever hear things other people can't? And I'm like, all the time. And I told that story and they're like, no, 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 no. Audio hallucinations. And I'm like, oh, no. But, I do hear things that other people can't just because their hearing is shite.
They probably should have phrased that. Do you hear audio hallucinations?
Well, maybe they were trying to not prejudice me against the question. I don't know.
Yeah, well, part of my problem is that too many of the symptoms overlap things. Audio hallucinations are common with sleep deprivation.
Well, actually, I think telling them that I didn't have audio hallucinations made them realize, yeah, it's autism. You're not just, nutty fruitcake, but whatever.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't know. Honestly, I really don't know. I mean, they said yes with the diagnosis, you're autistic, but that was all I got. I didn't get like, you're this far on the spectrum or on whatever, circular spectrum. I don't know. There was no it was just, yeah, you're definitely on this. That's all I got,
I still need to get retested.
Yeah, well, them giving you a number or a percentage is really pretty meaningless anyway, just because everybody's autism manifests in different ways.
Yeah, but still, it'd be nice to have something like some data to hang it on, to say because the difference between ADD and ADHD, to be able to say I'm this kind of a autistic and not that kind, it'd be nice to
Yeah.
be able to have a classification or taxonomy or whatever to be able to really describe it. On the
Yeah,
other
I
hand, I
getcha.
understand the people who are like, yeah, but then you hand like a victory to our critics where they have something to talk about, that where they can be more specific about what they don't like about us or whatever, that kind of thing. So I
Well,
get not wanting it, but
Though the funny thing is wanting that is probably an autistic trait.
Yeah, well, the hearing thing is why I always have to have familiar voices to go to sleep to. Otherwise, I hear everything that's going on in the building.
Oh, and we're about 27 minutes away from Beck's show.
Yep.
I live where you can hear traffic. And so, it actually does help to fall asleep. It's actually not a distraction for me. So, if like right now where my laptop and the Kindle are both in the shop and I have nothing really to play anything with, it's actually okay to have all that traffic going by.
Yeah, actually, it's something I had to adjust to, because for the first 40 years of my life, the 3 different places I lived in, there was always a train track at the end of the block. So yeah, I got used to the trains going by while I was asleep. And
That was
somehow not having that was disturbing.
In my childhood home, you could hear a train whistle every now and then, and by every now and then, I mean maybe once a month. But it was still, what is it about a distant train whistle that's kind of comforting? Maybe I'm
Yeah.
wrong. Maybe it's
No.
not. Maybe it's just me. I don't know.
I would have said forlorning.
Huh. Weird. I don't know. Maybe it's because I associate it with being at home in my bedroom at night.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have a pile of email that's like just, accumulated since we started this show. So it happens. Actually, I really do need to get up in the next 5 minutes or so and feed the kitties.
Up.
Yeah.
I was
Oh,
just
that's
telling,
what that was about.
Yeah, about 5 minutes to the top of the hour.
I was just telling Beck to link me.
Yeah, I'll have to round up some food before I get into Beck's stream.
Yeah, I probably want to grab a little something to eat too. I can make some Eggo waffles I got in the fridge.
Yeah, you were suggesting spicy food. I know I've still got one beef and bean burrito left.
Yeah.
I actually have this big old mac and cheese and
Yep.
hamburger casserole thingy I could eat.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, not the frozen type. I made burritos from scratch, and the things were huge.
No, I made the casserole too.
Yep.
Yeah, I've been munching on Cheez-Its and potato chips while we've been sitting here, but
Yeah.
a little bit more.
All I've had is my iced tea. I've only had liquid so far today, nothing solid.
Yes, I did have something solid earlier today. Took me a second.
Yeah, when I get migraines, they knock me flat on my ass. I'm basically not doing anything. Fortunately, I don't get them very often.
Mm-hmm. I don't get them a lot either, but like I say, usually when I get them, they last for about 3 days.
I don't
know if it's just being distracted now or what, that I'm not noticing it as much, or maybe it's actually getting a little bit better.
Mine usually only lasts about a day, but still.
Yeah, but it's a very specific one I keep getting. That, like I say, it feels like somebody took a steel spike and drove it into my left eyebrow, and it came out behind my ear.
Migraines are usually pretty specific.
Yeah, yeah, it's that same one that keeps coming back. Yeah, that's the nature of migraines, that they're usually in the same place every time.
Yeah.
I was never able to successfully explain to somebody what my seizures felt like if it was just an absence, because otherwise I'd be unconscious. And the only way I could think to describe it was picture an orgasm. Now imagine it's past its expiration date. That's what it feels like.
Okay.
It was like if orgasms were gross. That's what it felt like.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody seemed to be able to understand it.
Well, no, I can't say I really do. I mean, I've seen a friend having seizures, but yeah, I could never get what was going on internally when that was happening.
Thinking back to how I felt with my seizures, I can kind of see where you might be coming with that example.
But yeah, well, when you phrase it that way, I think I can get a vague concept at least.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have video of me having a full-on grand mal, but that's it. Like I would make these weird chewing noises and one arm would swing. It was crazy.
I've seen you in a few seizures.
But like the absences are different. Usually during an absence, I would just go blank, like a
Hey, Native.
Do that too.
Although sometimes I would have an absence while I was walking, and that was kind of scary because what it would feel like is I wouldn't know where the hell I was, even in familiar settings, surroundings, or something. It was like one of those things where someone gets blindfolded and then dumped in a city they've never been to before and told, find your way home. It felt like that kind of disorientation. I walked past my own front door not recognizing it. So, yeah. And there was once I was on the light rail in Seattle and an absence happened. And all of a sudden I'm like trying to find a backpack that I didn't bring with me. And like when I finally got to a station and left and the brain fog cleared, I suddenly realized, oh, fuck, I was the crazy person on the bus today. So that was embarrassing. Although actually it's not really, because I didn't know any of those people and I will never see them again in my entire life. So really, why should I be embarrassed? It doesn't affect me.
Well, see, that's one of the advantages of never getting to know anyone.
Yeah,
basically anything that happens in the city, I don't have to worry about.
Well, it's also one of the reasons it's so easy to do the Fremont Solstice Parade. I mean, who cares? These are all strangers.
Yeah, it actually kind of freaked me out when one of the people from my trans group ran into me at the grocery store. It's like I literally only know 6 people in the city. What are the chances of me meeting somebody when I'm out shopping?
It's kind of like when they had there was only 2 cars in the entire state and they end up crashing into each other.
Yeah.
Well, aside from myself, there's at least 2, maybe 3 queer people in my D&D group, and I bumped into and then there's one who doesn't play, but he's a roommate or something, maybe a boyfriend for all I know. But where I bumped into him, the one who doesn't play with us, at a Pride event recently, and I was like, "Oh, hey, how's it going?" You know, that was kind of neat.
And we're at the
Yeah.
top of the hour here.
Yeah, well, Sloth
Yeah.
Girl is really the outlier. I mean, she's been around my whole life, but aside from her, I really don't know if I've had any friends in the last 20 years who weren't some variety of queer.
Well, hell, I ran with goths for a while, and while some of them are definitely like, straight or whatever, most of them were at least bi-curious, and
Mhm.
my gosh, there's so much BDSM in the goth community.
Oh, yeah, there's a big overlap there. I don't
Mm.
really know any goth people, but yeah, I was in the kink community for a number of years, and they would always be showing up at events.
Well, and I mean, like, there's a lot of overlap too. Like, a large number of people in the goth community were also members of the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence, that kind of thing.
Hmm.
You know, that was an interesting time. I miss what that was like back in the day, but the nightlife in Seattle has been gutted. So
Yeah, well, I'd say I could never take bars or clubs. They're too loud and the flashing lights. It's too overstimulating for me.
well, that's the thing. You might have liked the Mercury. I mean, granted, the music was loud, but there was a pool room where it was a lot less loud. Also, there wasn't a lot of flashing lights. It was actually pretty dark with a lot of red wall lighting.
Okay, yeah,
And,
that I could deal with.
and it was pretty chill. I mean, honestly, it was like being in someone's rec room. I mean, it was a club, and yeah, there was music and a DJ, but honestly, it was more like hanging out at a clubhouse more than anything
Yeah.
else. It was, and I actually did stay past closing once because they actually asked me to work the coat check. And then I saw when the place was being cleaned up and they turned on all the lights, and I'm like, holy shit, I really am just in a basement. With the lights on, this does not look like the spooky club I'm used to. I don't know. It's like I'm in Eric's basement rec room for some reason. It was
Yeah,
just,
a whole new perspective on it.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I mean, I can laugh about it now.
He's being a little pupper, and I was just telling her not to chew on her foot, and she looked at me and whimpered.
And I really do have to go feed the kitties. I'll catch you evil geniuses later.
Okay.
Later, Diana!
Yeah, I actually do need to get. We do
Yeah,
need to
I
get
gotta go
going.
feed the cats.
Yep. Yeah. Sorry, Diana, but it sounds like we've all got to get going. So,
Okay.
yeah, it's time to shut down the stream.
I'm sorry that I haven't been well.
That's okay. We've been worried about
Oh.
you. Well,
Oh my God, Diana,
you might want to
cover
shut
up.
your camera off.
Yeah.
Oh my. You need to stop doing that.
You really do.
Yep.
YouTube really doesn't like that.
Yeah, I'm surprised YouTube hasn't canceled your streams for that happening.
Oh God.
Anyway,
Okay.
I'll catch you later. Have fun, everybody. Threedles.
Bye bye.
Later.
Moo.
Yep.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Zadakusa. I don't know. I'm not well.
No, that's rather obvious, but I wish there was something we could do for you, but I can't, I don't know anything we could do.
You could shoot me.
No, like I say, you're out of range and I've only got Nerf balls.
Basta
Yeah,
No,
I'm not comfortable having a gun in my house.
Oh God. Just. Oh.
I think there are too many times that I wouldn't be around if there had been an easy way out.
Just.
Okay, just hit the button to disconnect from YouTube.
Vaya que Okay, so everybody have fun.
Yeah, Beck's going to be doing a stream in about half an hour, so people will be gathering over there.
Okay, so now we're going to exit the stream.
Yep.
There goes.
So long.